All right, guys, we are live on Mike Reviews It All Fights with Friends. Sorry, this started a little earlier than what they said, but I did not want to miss Andre Harrison versus Bezerra, the number 6 versus number 3 seed. Andre Harrison coming into this 19-0, 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. He was undefeated in the first round to pick up the number 3 seed. So I apologize. I know I scheduled the stream for 6 o'clock. They're a little ahead of schedule right now, and I did not want to miss this fight. So what's going on, everybody? The referee is Gabe Barroso. 10-point must system based on aggression and control. One of the strange things in this is no elbows anywhere, anytime. That's one thing that's a bit odd. The other thing is there's 2 5-minute rounds, and if there's a tie, the person who wins the first round wins the match. That's very strange. Nice low leg kick from Harrison, and Bezerra answering with the 1-2 there. Oh, big right hand from Harrison, and that rocked Bezerra. That put him down to a knee, and they exchange next to the cage there. Lance Palmer looking on in the background. He is the number 2 seed. He won earlier tonight a victory over number 7 Max Koga. Whoa! Harrison with the power tonight. Total strikes thrown. You see 13-3. Bezerra has the power though. He had only 1 match. Finished his match. A nice exchange there for Andre Harrison. Nice 1-2. These guys fought before in another league for a championship belt, and Andre Harrison won it then. Nice right hook from Andre Harrison on the way out there. So what's up? What's up, Niji? They're from Japan. What's going on, man? Oh, Bezerra barely misses the right hand there. Harrison, the big-time aggressor. Oh, barely misses the 1-2 there. Bezerra, good job of ducking underneath. Harrison, he's a pretty well-rounded fighter. He can strike. He can take it down. His only weakness for a lot of people is he doesn't have a lot of finishes. And when you ask people, it's kind of like they're not quite sure why. Nice front kick to the body there for Harrison. Because he doesn't, he doesn't seem to be a powder puff puncher. Whoa, nice job of Bezerra ducking underneath the right hook there. And apparently in practice, his jiu-jitsu is great. Nice low leg kick there from Harrison. His defensive jiu-jitsu has obviously been great. His defense and everything. Takedowns, striking defense, total strikes landed. 17-0 for Bezerra. I'll tell you, I did not expect this. That was the first strike landed there by Bezerra. A nice leg kick. And Harrison, oh, lands some nice punches there. Nice left hook there from Bezerra. I'm not exactly trusting their punch stats over there in the corner. It still said Bezerra as of landed. Oh, and Bezerra lands a big shot there. And, oh, that might have hurt Harrison. Big left hand there. Front kick to the body and a side kick to the body for Harrison. Nice 1-2 for Harrison, but a nice knees to the body for Bezerra. If he can get Harrison in that tie clinch, Harrison is in a lot of trouble. Remember, there is no elbows in PFL, unfortunately, but there are knees to a standing opponent. Oh, good job of Harrison catching the foot of Bezerra, but he's not able to take advantage, just able to say, hey, don't do that again. And who will go for the first takedown? That's kind of the question here. Bezerra's got some submissions. Harrison's got great wrestling. Now Bezerra becoming the aggressor. Oh, and they exchange there. What's up, Mario Yamasaki? How you doing, man? Oh, Bezerra lands a big shot. Harrison lands and Bezerra lands a big shot. Oh, that was a left hook right behind the ear from Bezerra. That might have stunned Harrison. Harrison's backing up. He's trying not to show it, but he looks like he might be on wobbly legs. Minute left in the first round. Nice low leg kick there from Andre Harrison. He's really got to make sure when he throws those low leg kicks, though, that he doesn't let his left hand come down to leave himself open for that straight right. And Bezerra's got a big right hand as he tried to land it right there. But, oh, and Bezerra lands another shot there. Oh, big right hand right on, and Harrison lands a right hook. Oh, and Bezerra lands the knee to the head. Harrison's going to go for the takedown. I think he's injured. He's grabbing for the leg. It's intelligent right now, though. I mean, he just got hit by a knee. He's been winning this round. Bezerra's shaking his head, but that's smart fighting by Harrison to clinch him up there against the fence. He does not want to eat any more of those knees. All right, and that is round 1 in the books, guys. What's up, Mario Masaki? How you doing, man? Just getting home from work? See a lot more shots landed that last round from Andre Harrison. The better shots from Bezerra. So I know I scheduled this for 6 o'clock, and then everything was ahead of schedule, and it was 5:30, and Harrison and Bezerra were fighting. I'm like, man, this is too good of a fight to not skip, so I started it a little early. Glad you caught it, man. Don't forget, everybody that's in here, we're going to talk about it several times, but tomorrow we got these rare Monster Energy Conor McGregor gloves. You can win them tomorrow on the UFC 229 stream. Oh, nice right hand and a left hook there from Bezerra. Nice low leg kick from Harrison. Now, the strange thing about the rulings I was just talking about, these are all 2 rounds tonight. And if there is a tie, the winner, and I've never seen those kind of punches. Harrison punch speed, 23 miles per hour. You get NBC involved in MMA, you can end up with all kinds of funky stuff, I guess. I like how it's fighting tonight. It's good so far, Nicola. What's up? And Nicola, it is Andre Harrison versus Bezerra. Bezerra goes to the flying knee there. Oh, and a nice right hand there from Bezerra. Bezerra much more aggressive this round. The strange thing that I was talking about earlier, there's no elbows in this for one thing, but the other strange thing is, and Harrison might have hurt Bezerra, and he's moving in. Oh, big right hand, and Bezerra comes back with a big right hand. The strange thing is, these being 2-round fights, if it is a round apiece, the person who wins the first round will be given the victory and move on to the next round. Now, whoever came up with that rule, I'm sorry, they were a friggin' idiot. That is the stupidest rule I've ever heard. Bezerra misses a wild uppercut there, and hopefully this is just for tonight. But I encourage you to hit them up on their Twitter and I'm contacting them to let them know, hey, you guys have been doing great, but this is a massive, massive mistake to have this rule. Oh, big right hand from Harrison. Nice jab from Harrison. Nice left hook from Bezerra, and a 1-2 from Bezerra. And we got to be under the understanding that Bezerra probably needs a finish. Oh, nice right hand from Harrison, because Harrison won that first round, which is the do-all on this. The weigh-ins are intense right now. Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Oh, man. And Bezerra barely misses a head kick there. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch the weigh-ins later, Mario. I would rather watch this live and watch the weigh-ins later, though. Lance Palmer looking on in the background. He beat Max Koga earlier, the number 7 seed. Lance Palmer, of course, the number 2 seed. Nice right hand there from Bezerra. This is the third fight of the night so far. Earlier, number 7 seed heavyweight Jared Rosholt upset number 2 seed Kevin Tiller. Yo, Mike, no super chat. No, I don't have super chat on this channel yet, man. Sorry. What do you guys think of the pop-up chat on the side? Does that, I want to know your guys' opinion. Oh, and they're exchanging shots there in the center of the cage. I want to get your guys' opinion on that, if that's more convenient than the way the chat usually is, so the words don't go over the page, or if you like it the old way. So let me know down there. This was Dutch guy from MMA Newsroom helped me out on some graphics earlier. Nice right hand there from Harrison. Nice body kick there from Bezerra. And they exchange back and forth here. This second round might be a little tougher score. The first round, I would score pretty heavily for Harrison. Nice knee to the body there for Harrison. And at 30 seconds left, and Bezerra in his playoff career, he's pretty much got to end it. He's got to swing for the fences right now, and he is. And he just kind of predictably keeps throwing that jab and the right hook, though. And remember, these guys fought before in another league. Andre Harrison won it then. It looks like he's going to move up to 2-0 against Bezerra in his career. Whoa, Bezerra really swinging for the fences. Andre Harrison, good defense there. And that is it. And I believe number 3, Andre Harrison, should move on to the second round. Nazareno Melgar versus Steven Silar. Who you got? Or Silar. I got Steven Silar, man. Nazareno Melgar, it's a little controversial over whether he should be in it or not. I don't know which of you guys that were watching that. Oh, and that was a nice leg kick. That just really stunned him, kind of gave him a Charlie horse. Melgar, he had to end his last fight in the second round because he was 5 points from making the playoffs. And they decided that his opponent's cut in between rounds after the second round was too much for him to go on. A lot of people felt like PFL really did that for kind of for a dramatic reason, and I can see why they would think that. I really can. What's up, El Chapo? Just enjoying some beer and some fights, brother. I like it. If you can change like was before. This chat taking a half of screen unnecessary. All right, so Mario likes it. Nicola says likes it the way it was before. I know an issue that a lot of people have. It depends on if you're watching it on PC or phone. If you're watching it on the phone, you end up with a very small screen with the top chat. And then when you go sideways, the chat just goes right over the top of whatever you're doing. Oh, it's still... See, it still goes over the top. Still undefeated. Moves to 20-0. Andre Harrison. Even though he's the number 3 seed, he's the guy I said was the favorite coming into this. And I still believe that. And another guy that Andre Harrison's beaten in the past, Lance Palmer. And they will fight in the next round. So one of the judges saw the second round for Bezerra, and that tiebreaker was used. That is such a ridiculous rule. I love PFL. You guys have been doing a great job. Ridiculous rule saying that whoever wins the first round in a 2-round fight wins the fight on a tiebreaker. That's absolutely incompetent. And I don't want to beat up on PFL too good because their first season's been so great. But there's a featherweight playoff bracket. You can see Lance Palmer and Andre Harrison will fight next. We got Silar versus Melgar, number 1 and 8 seed. Torkson versus Almeida, number 4 and 5 seed. That's a huge one right there. And those will be tonight. But we got some heavyweight fights coming up tonight too. And of course, the champion of this featherweight playoff bracket will win $1 million.
Yes. Coming up soon, guys.
I got Felipe Blurry Vision. I think I like Karate Hottie. I like Michelle Watterson. Honestly, I think Felipe is going to be too big and too strong for her, though. Unless they make a 105 weight division in the UFC, I think Watterson might have to go back to Invicta FC for now, honestly. I don't know that she's big enough to compete with some of these girls. I mean, that's not to say that she can't pull it out, but I just think Felipe Harris is bigger and stronger. Enjoy the beer and fights, bro. I'm off to bed. 1:45 a.m. here. Peace. All right, peace, man. Damn. It's same. I weather on both. Hey, Mike, check out the weigh-ins later. It was exciting. What's up, Daniel York? I definitely will. I definitely will. I seen a lot of you guys already made predictions on my prediction video for the Conor McGregor gloves. In between matches, I'm going to talk about these gloves a little more. These were a Monster energy drink promotion. These were given to the CEO of Grocery Outlet. About 200 stores or so. I mean, a little more Grocery Outlet has now. Somewhere in between 200 and 400 stores. Anyways, they received one for the promotion. And they gave it to me because they know I'm a big fight fan. So I want to pass it on to you guys. These gloves are very rare, though. This was a very short promotion. I don't know how many were made, though. I don't know if you can see in that where it says not for resale. But you can't buy these. You can't find them on eBay. I've Googled Conor McGregor MMA gloves, Monster Energy, and I can't even find, not for resale, I can't even find them on Google. I mean, I can't find an image. I can't find anything about them on Google. So that tells me, I don't know how many were made, but I'm guessing it could have been under 1,000. So you can see, I've kept them in the plastic. I didn't want to wear them or anything. Kyle Alencar defeated Mike Pyle by unanimous decision at PFL 7. We're ready for our next matchup. Who do you think is next for Kevin Lee? I don't know, man. I need those ASAP. Well, you can win them tomorrow on UFC 229, McGregor versus Khabib. So what you need to do is, and don't do it in here because it's not going to be saved. You can say it on the super chat here, but make sure and do it tomorrow too, or on my video online. What you need to do is you need to pick who you think is going to win between Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov, and then what round they will win in. And I know it sounds crazy, but I want you to put the way that they will win, whether it be by knockout, submission, or decision. And then I want you to put the way that they will have their victory, just submission or punch. I don't need the kind of submission or submission or knockout. I don't need, punch, kick for knockout or what kind of submission. And then that'll be, the time will be the tiebreaker. A lot of people have been asking me, you're going to ask to put a time? Felipe Lins versus Kyle Alencar. These guys train together, but they're not going to be friends here for a few minutes. Hook me up, Mike. Hey, you got to pick who do you think's going to win tomorrow? Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. You got to pick who you think will win the round in time, and what move you think it will be by. MMA record 12-3, 5 knockouts, 5 submissions. Kyle Alencar. It's the number 4 seed versus the number 5 seed. And here we go, Felipe Lins, 11-3. He's got 6 knockouts and 3 submissions. These guys are both finishers. You know, I like finishers. What's up, Comedic Genius? I know Comedic Genius likes free things, so we'll have to talk about our giveaway tomorrow in between rounds again. All my fans like free things. You guys don't buy pay-per-view? No, I'm just teasing. A lot of you actually do, and you end up watching the show anyways. I greatly appreciate it. All right, quarterfinal playoff rules. No knees to the head of a grounded opponent. No elbows anywhere, anytime. But the strangest rule for tonight is 2 5-minute rounds, and if there's a tiebreaker, whoever wins the first round will get the win. I know that's retarded. I'm going to contact PFL myself and tell them how big of a mistake I think it is. First, I'm going to start with compliments of how great they've done this season, though. Lynn's in the blue, Alencar in the black. Lynn's going for the takedown here and gets it. Alencar on his back. Alencar up quickly, though. And that's the number 4 and 5 seed. So, you know, you think like March Madness. This is supposed to be the matchup that's, you know, the closest on paper. And Alencar now going for the takedown. And Lenz is going to drop for a guillotine here. This might be pretty deep here. And that is it. Felipe Lins submits Kyle Alencar with the guillotine. Wow. Hey, Robert Christian, how you doing, man? I'm living good. How are you, brother? Good to see the familiar faces in here. So Felipe Lins just walks through Kyle Alencar. That was, what, less than a minute? And he just submits Alencar with a guillotine choke there. So let's watch the replay there. And these guys are friends. They fight against each other. You can see Alencar going for the takedown, and Lins gets that guillotine right away, and Alencar taps pretty quickly. I'm glad they got a better angle of it. Let's watch it from this angle right here, and he just drops and stomps. There he goes. What's up, Stewie? Stewie in the house. Great submission there by Lins, though. Moving on to the next round. So, number 3, Felipe Lins. I thought this was a number 4 and number 5 bout, but I guess it was number 3, number 6. I misreported that. So Lins beats Alencar, moves on. He will face Jared Rosholt in the next round. Earlier, Rosholt upset number 2 seed Kevin Tiller. Jared Rosholt, of course, a UFC veteran. And then you see the fights that are coming up still. Jack May versus Alex Nicholson in heavyweights. That's going to be a great fight. And Barroso versus Copeland heavyweights. That is the main event. What's good, my bro? Can't wait till tomorrow night. Connor all the way. All right, Judd. Man, I have went back and forth on who I think is going to win that fight so many times, and I've listened to analysts. The last 2 days, I've been listening to podcasts. I've been listening to Kenny Flory and Chelson and all these different guys on all the different points as to why they think Khabib will win or Conor will win, and it all basically comes down to, no matter who you talk to, it comes down to who executes their game plan. Standing, you know, that's Khabib's Achilles heel. His striking is his Achilles heel. He makes a lot of mistakes. Conor is not known as a good grappler. Khabib, call him a one-dimensional fighter, and you can, and that may be accurate. That one dimension is an incredible dimension. And 26 men have not been able to pass through it so far. Oh, damn, some fights are on. Got to watch my Yanks. Oh, yeah, playoffs going on for baseball. That's right. Whoa, sorry about that, guys. Earthquake. Hopefully we'll, man, we'll laugh about that one day. We'll be like, hey, remember that time a huge glass came flying down on the camera? But I got to put that in a safer spot. Alexander Almeida versus Jumabiki Torkson. Number 5 and number 4 still to come. And Jack May versus Alex Nicholson, heavyweight quarterfinal, number 4 and 5. Silar versus Melgar still to come. There's still a lot of action left here still. Mike, we got you to 1.2 subs. Congratulations, brother. Well, hey, thank you guys. They have not approved my super chat yet, but being that Fights of Friends, the stream is suspended, I now have 2 monetized channels. And that's because of you guys. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to readjust my camera now after that little debacle there. All right. It takes 30 days. Alexander Almeida versus Torkson next. (28-1) is Torkson there. This is crazy. Why is Canelo not fighting his mandatory Charlo for middleweight WBC belt? They're trying to make Golovkin versus Charlo instead. I don't know, man. That's crazy. Alexander Almeida lost to Steven Silar by first round submission at PFL 4. That was his last fight. Of course, he won, I believe it was, in PFL 1. I think he was on the first week. I don't remember exactly what the result was, but it was enough to get him into the playoffs. A little bit of difficulty with the stream here. How do you see Tony versus Pettis going? I don't know, man. I really gotta favor Tony. I just gotta say, hopefully he's recovered. That's the only big thing. If he's recovered, Torkson 28-1, 6 knockouts, 4 submissions. the number 4 seeded featherweight. It's all featherweights and heavyweights tonight. And Alexander Almeida, 19-8, 2 knockouts, 14 submissions. This guy is a submitting fool. Finished 16 of his fights. We got to see finishes here. We're all about the finishes up in here on Fights of Friends. Conor will KO Khabib like you just did to your camera. I'm lucky I didn't break it. That would have sucked. So I'll tell you, I have this up on a shelf above, this big glass, and I knocked it down onto the freaking camera. Luckily, it didn't fall very far. What's up, Jason Esvito? I think people are underestimating Anthony Pettis. I think so, too. That's why I said I don't count him out at all. I'm picking Pettis. Ferguson. But Pettison's definitely got a good shot. Nice combination from Almeida right out of the gate on Torkson here. Oh, nice body kick from Torkson, but Almeida's already got that grip. And he's got it down to the ground. Oh, and you got the submission master. He's already pulling up that top guard. 14 submissions and 19 wins for Alexander Almeida. This is not where Torkson wants to be whatsoever. I mean, he may think he's confident in his ground game, but Almeida is on an absolutely different level. Torkson needs to get out of here very quickly, and he does not seem to understand the danger he's in. As he puts his mouth right in the, or puts his head right in the alligator's mouth here. This is, and Boss just mentioned, eyes of the judges, most of the time the guys in the top is going to win. Unfortunately, we still have a lot of uneducated judges. Even if the guy from the bottom is doing the better work. And I'm not saying the guy on the bottom is yet. He's not, but he's working up that high rubber guard. Look at that arm. This is close. He might have it right here. I know it. Oh, he's going for an omoplata. Oh, he used the omoplata to sleep, and he's got Torkson's arm in a bad position. Oh, and Torkson pulls it out. Oh, but Almeida's just going to grab him. Torkson not smart enough to stand up here. He could stand up and take this back to the ground. He could have stood up. Now you're going to lose your arm. And I think this is going to be it right here. You're talking about a jiu-jitsu master right here in Alexander Almeida. And he might decide to rip off a leg here. But 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Torkson is playing with fire for sure. Oh, and he's got Torkson's back. He had his back for a minute. Good job of Torkson to fall back into guard, but now Almeida moves to side mount, which, of course, great submissions from side mount are your arm triangle, and it can be a good position to go for an arm bar and a Kimura, of course. And he can get some knees to the body here. Underutilized in the ground and pound, I think. What's up, Soul? Especially since Tony starts late. Good point, Mike. Mike back in his bathroom. Tell the wife we all love putting up with all of us. I will, man. Tyson Fury versus Wilder. I have Wilder. I think Fury has not been back for long enough yet, and I think Wilder catches Fury with one of those wild shots and knocks him out. Recently, Teddy Atlas, I think, described Deontay Wilder better than I think I've heard anybody describe him. And he said Deontay Wilder has Thor's hammer. And he's correct. He's the most powerful puncher, I believe, since George Foreman. So, just 1 second, guys. I really apologize, but I have to take this. Hello? Hello? Hello?
I've noticed this recently with a lot of the Asian fighters, they don't prioritize that far side fighters, Chinese fighters, a lot of the fighters from Asia don't prioritize getting that underhook, and you're making a lot of work for yourself trying to get up without that.
Sorry, guys, just an appointment confirmation. But 35 seconds left in the round. Almeida does not get the submission, so it'll be interesting to see how this first round goes now. I would say it's for Almeida. You never know how some of these judges are going to score it. Torkson was on top for some of the round. And like I said, the stupid thing about this, the biggest mistake PFL I think's made so far, is this first round, these 2-round fights. Whoever wins the first round, if there's a tiebreaker, they win the fight. If it goes 1-1 round, they just take whoever won the first round. That is ridiculous. I can't picture Khabib getting knocked out, but if he does, McGregor will shake the world, and that knockout will propel him to such a high level, it will be bananas. I agree, Jason. Verbert Twain, what's up, everybody? What's up, man? Just having a good time in here. I'm eyes on Sergio Pettis. The guy has some impressive wins and is under the radar. And I think he wins tomorrow. He's just a slight favorite. I think he should probably be a little bigger favorite over his opponent, and I think he gets an impressive victory tomorrow. What do you think of Aspen Ladd's weight cut? Dude, that guy is always cutting a ridiculous amount of weight. I don't know. Aspen Ladd was shaking and almost started crying at the official weigh-in. Whoa. Oh, I didn't watch the actual weigh-in yet, guys. No, I'm going to end up watching that later because it was scheduled at the same time as PFL, so I've been watching this. I'm going to have to watch the recorded later. Here we go, round 2 between Almeida and Torkson. I gave the first round to Almeida. Who knows who the judges gave it to, though. Nice low leg kick there from Almeida. And, of course, Almeida, the jiu-jitsu master, that's the big story in this one. 14 submissions and 19 wins. Another nice low kick there for Almeida. And Torkson, the aggressor, going to the right hand there, but he's having a hard time getting inside the range of Almeida. Torkson, the body kick there. Another nice low leg kick there from Almeida. Oh, another one. And oh, nice side kick. Oh, and a big right hand, a left hook, another right hand from Almeida. And this is where Almeida wants to be, even though Torkson's on top, especially since he just rocked Torkson. Torkson really playing with fire here. He ended up on the ground again with Almeida. He got out of the first round, but Derek Lewis was in the black with her before the scale. Oh, in the back with her. Oh, God. Aspen Ladd has missed weight before. Damn. Aspen is a chick, Mike, not a dude. I'm sorry. I got Ladd losing that fight. I was mixing her up with somebody else. I don't know why I had a brain fart there. I know who Aspen Ladd is. No, I was thinking of that guy that lost like 45 pounds in his UFC debut against Neil Magny. I don't know why. I think it's a similar name, but Almeida going for the Kimura from the bottom here. I mean, this is a rare submission, but you got a guy that's this great at submissions. I mean, if anybody's going to pull it off, it's him. I got Ladd a place to stay, Yana, too. Yeah, she's Derek Lewis is going to be hitting that up later. Oh, and Almeida with the full mount here. Torkson with half of the round left to survive. Almeida's just looking up to his corner. His corner giving some advice there. It'd be nice to see him mix up the ground and pound here to the head and body. I'm not really going to say a whole lot of what Almeida should say, though, because obviously he's a hell of a lot smarter than I am. He's got 14 submissions and 19 wins. And he's trying to slip in this arm triangle here. He doesn't have it yet, but he's got a great position here, holding Torkson's head still and landing the shots with the other hand. Switches arms, basically same position, but switches the underarm several times there. So who will move on to the next round, Almeida or Torkson? The last name like lad, easy to mix up the sex. Harry, what do you guys think about Tito versus Chuck? I feel it shouldn't happen. Chuck is just too old. I agree with you 100%, Judd. And honestly, I have mixed feelings about even watching it. And I don't do that with fights. Oh, Torkson gets back up and Almeida lands a nice right hand as they get up. Remember, though, if these judges, any of them gave Torkson the first round and they're 10-9 rounds, even if Almeida wins the second round, Torkson goes to the next round. Nice leg kick to the body from Torkson. Misses a big right hand there. And a body shot there from Torkson. And Torkson's going to go for the takedown here. He's got a single leg, and he brings Almeida down to the ground. Almeida goes down seemingly kind of purposely, but he may not have noticed there's only about 30 seconds left in the round. That's just scoring points for Torkson, unless Almeida is able to get a submission here. And he's running out of time. 15 seconds left in the round. Oh, and he's got a triangle choke. This is going to be very close. Oh, and Torkson's out. Good job of countering for Torkson. Well, Torkson, he went into the oven with Almeida several times and managed to escape. I'm not sure who the victory goes to. I have it 2-0 to Almeida for Almeida, but those are very close rounds. Let's be real, Mike. We will watch Tito versus Chuck. I'm a fight fan, but it doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. All right. Let's see what the decision is, and then let's talk a little more about tomorrow's giveaway and tomorrow's stream, UFC 229. George St. Pierre has Khabib winning. George is usually right. George could be predicted Weidman beating Silva easily. I've gone back and forth. Most of the week I've gone with Khabib. And then I hear all these analysts talk, and I think about how Conor gets into people's heads, and I start to doubt myself just a little bit. I mean, at the end of the day, if you put a gun to my head and said, who do you think wins this fight? I pick Khabib. And I really didn't think Conor could get inside Khabib's head. These Russian cats, they have a different mentality. They're very serious, but they're very, usually kind of stoic, and some people say it's even kind of cold, but generally pretty emotionless. 2018 on 2 cards and 1919 on 1. And Alexander Almeida, and 2 of the judges actually had it the way I had it. So that makes me feel good. Advances to featherweight semifinals. Makes me feel like maybe we all know what we're talking about. Number 5, Alexander Almeida beats number 4, Torkson, to move on to the next round. So far earlier, number 2, Lance Palmer, beat number 7, Max Koga. These are featherweights and heavyweights tonight. And the heavyweights, number 7, Jared Rosholt, pulled off an upset over number 2, Kevin Tiller. Number 3, Andre Harrison, got a decision victory over Bezerra. Number 6, Bezerra. File Lins got the submission win over Caio Alencar. Excuse me, that was a number 3 over a number 6 seed. We've only had That was our second upset of the night. If you want to call a number 5 over a number 4 an upset. The other one, number 7 over a number 2, that's a pretty big upset. But I don't really feel like we've seen enough of these guys to say that a number 2 over a number 7 is that big of an upset right now. So Linz will face Jared Rosholt in the next round. We got Jack May and Alex Nicholson and Barroso versus Copeland still to go in the heavyweight playoff bracket. All right, Jack May versus Alex Nicholson next. And this will be the last fight on the prelims. After that, you can follow along at NBC Sports. Yamasaki is the worst referee of all time. Thank God no one died because of him. How would you rate the PFL so far? I got to rate it very highly for a first year. I mean, they were able to get a lot of good fighters out. I mean, I'm not super impressed with the quality of the fights so far tonight, but you have a lot of good fighters in here when they put that money up. And Alex Nicholson, he had a brutal knockout win. This guy's a stud. Number 5 heavyweight. I would be worried about him. Jack May's a stud too, though. For a first year of a sports league, I think they've done phenomenal. And you can see by the first event, I mean, there's nobody in the stands. And by like event number 4 or 5, I mean, it was just full. And you can see there's a packed crowd in here tonight. So tomorrow for UFC 229, Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov, I will ask you tomorrow on the stream, who do you think will win the fight? And how will they win it? By knockout or submission? And what round and time? The winner will win these rare Conor McGregor gloves. Jack May, 37 years old, 6'8". That is a big dude, 260. Alex Nicholson, 28, 6'4", weighing at 220. So 40-pound weight advantage for Jack May. Reach is identical at 78 inches apiece. May, 11 years older. Alex Nicholson, of course, before this, coming off a victory against former heavyweight champion Rico Rodriguez on the Cam Soda card, the infamous Cam Soda card. Now, these gloves, if you guys didn't hear me talking about these earlier, though, they were given to the CEO of Grocery Outlet, grocery chain of a few hundred grocery stores. And there was one of them. These are made by Monster Energy Drink. They're made for a very short summer promotion. And, I mean, they were out for a very, very short time. They gave them to a few stores. They were displayed in a few stores, but these are not on eBay. You cannot even find these online. If you Google Conor McGregor Monster Energy MMA gloves not for resale, you will not find anything on Google. So there may be less than 1,000 of these. I'm guessing I wouldn't think there's much more than about 1,000 if Grocery Outlet got one in the country for their entire franchise. So, I mean, there's only so many big grocery franchises out there anymore. I don't know the exact number of how many are out there. It's not Conor McGregor's actual signature. It is, the computer printed signature. But these are some really nice gloves. I've kept them in the plastic. The fact that they're so rare and that they weren't available to the public is what I think adds the value to them. And I have no idea what they're valued at because I can't find them. I cannot find another pair like them. Loss versus Linz, his first at heavyweight for Alex Nicholson. Now 7-1 at heavyweight. And that's what put him at the number 5 seed. And Jack May. This is going to be a rough fight for both guys. 8 of his 10 wins by first round knockout. This guy's an absolute beast. He is getting up there in age. I mean, he's 38. A lot of that gray makes him look maybe a little bit older. For a heavyweight, that's not ancient, depending on what's happened to you in your career. But can Big John Judd get a shout out? Big John Judd, how you doing? Those are mine, bro, says Blurry Vision. Stop trying to give them away. Kane Drake website has Khabib winning based on fighter stats. WTF. Hello, Dean. How's it going? Thanks for coming in. Dean's got the hammer to drop. Hi, Big John Judd. So Dean gives you a shout out there, too. There's Alex, the Spartan Nicholson. Of course, we are on the eve of what's being called the biggest UFC fight in history. Jack May, 10-4, 8 knockouts. All 8 of those knockouts in the first round. Now remember, no elbows legal in PFL. No knees to the head of a down opponent. That's a common theme in United States MMA. But then the weird thing about this tournament that I don't like, and I'll actually be contacting the PFL, like I mentioned, is this first round, 2 rounds. If it goes a round apiece, they will give the win to whoever won the first round. I think that's the most ridiculous thing I've heard in MMA. But here we go. Kevin Torres, no jiu-jitsu. Thanks, guys. All right, here we go. No problem, Judd. Nice body kick there from Alex Nicholson. A nice low leg kick. Oh, and a left hook from Nicholson. May with a right hand over the top. Jack May is just a huge man. Kind of reminds me of Kevin Nash. He's got that gray kind of same beard. 6'8", 260 pounds. He's got a 40-pound weight advantage on Nicholson tonight. Nicholson's got to be careful not to get caught. Nice right hook and a left hook over the top from Nicholson. Oh, Nicholson goes to the flying knee. Jack May just kind of pushes him back. Nicholson comes in, lands a combo there. May only needs 1 shot. Nice leg check there from May. Oh, and May goes for the head kick. Good job from Nicholson blocking that, but I guarantee you that elbow of Nicholson's going to be hurting tomorrow from that. You could hear that. Oh, Superman punch from Nicholson, or kind of a flying left hook, actually. Nicholson really working on those legs of May in the first round. That seems to really be a good strategy. You don't see too many fighters in the game. Oh, nice right hand from Jack May, and a nice right hand from Nicholson. You don't see too many fighters in the game too much taller than May. Oh, left hand, right hook, and a nice knee in the body from Nicholson. Big right hand, big left hook. May is hurt. Right hook, straight left. Nicholson going crazy here. May lands a right hand, though. Nicholson's got to be careful to not get caught coming in. Oh, and he hurt him with that body kick, though. Nicholson knocked the wind out of him, I think, with that body kick. Oh, and he is on top with some brutal ground and pound here. Big rights, lefts. Jack May is absolutely defenseless, and it is all over. Alex Nicholson, first round knockout over the bigger Jack May. Now, what I was going to say earlier is that's a good strategy on a guy that's 6'8". When you get much above about 6'6", you see it in basketball players and people in other sports. When they're that tall, they start to have a lot of knee problems, especially if you're much taller than Jack May is at 6'8". So to go after those legs and knees right away from Alex Nicholson, I think that was really smart, and he hurt May to the legs right away. Ended up being that body kick that started it all. He was too slow, too big. I agree, Jason. And, I mean, yeah, he was, you know, he had 8 of his 10 wins by first-round knockout, but who knows what the level of competition he was fighting. And Nicholson caught a couple shots, but, I mean, he was just swarming. If you have the power, honestly, I believe that these heavyweights around 220 like Nicholson is, that might be about the sweet spot for a weight. At 6'4", maybe a little more, but you think about a lot of these guys. Mike Tyson, you know, at his prime was around 220. 215, 220. Marciano was even lower. I don't think he ever got above 200. Oh, and that was a liver shot. That was it. That's what it was. And he was already limping on the leg there, Jack May was. And you look at Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder walks around about 215, and that guy hits as hard as anybody I've seen hit since George Foreman. And George Foreman's the hardest hitting guy I've ever seen fight. And I'm not saying Wilder would be more of a knockout machine than Mike Tyson, but I will tell you he hits harder than Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, it was a combination of speed, precision, and power. Deontay Wilder just has that shot like George Foreman does where he can literally lift guys off the canvas. Being fast trumps size heavyweight. Yeah, being fast definitely can. It's going to be interesting to see how Deontay Wilder deals with the size of Tyson Fury, though. I mean, Tyson Fury, for as tall as he is, I mean, he's, for a guy that tall, he is the most talented heavyweight ever, I believe, to be over 6'6". I can't think of anybody else. Ali was 6'3". There isn't, well, no, not over 6'6", I would say, that to be that tall. He's 6'9". Vladimir Klitschko was 6'7". I believe Vitaly was 6'6" or 6'7" also. So I'm not prepared to put him over the Klitschkos just yet. But at that height, he's the best. So he's going to face the winner. Alex Nicholson will face the winner of the main event tonight between Barroso and Copeland. Man, he hurt him with that body kick, and he hurt him with those leg kicks before that. Cormier is a small heavyweight. Yeah, Cormier is but he weighed in at more than Stipe. That was a strange thing. He's definitely a short heavyweight. And you got that low center of gravity, and that's something Tyson used to use against a lot of these guys that were like 6'6", because you're always punching up. These guys had to punch down to get to him, and that's an awkward movement. You can when you're shorter than your opponent in boxing, when you get on the inside, it's an advantage. Of course, on the outside, you know, you can get picked apart, but on the inside, you can catch people at the top of the arc of that punch. And you've seen Tyson do it with that overhand right so many times. And you've seen Deontay Wilder, and I think at the end of the night, I think Deontay Wilder knocks Tyson Fury out. I think Tyson Fury, he hasn't been back for long enough. Floyd Mayweather, 6'9". Yeah, I think Tyson Fury's he's almost like a 6'9" Floyd Mayweather. It's pretty crazy. Coming up, all right. They will be moving to NBC Sports Network now. Number 1 versus number 8 seed in the featherweight and the heavyweight. Steven Silar versus Nazareno Melgar, and Francimar Barroso versus Josh Copeland. All right, and for those of you watching this, you're going to have to go over to NBC Sports if you want to watch the fights live now. Follow along over there. I'm going to go over there myself. Oh man, a lot of people watch those weigh-ins. It looks like between Conor and Khabib. I definitely would have been watching them if it wasn't for this. Sign into my DirecTV Now here, which has gotten much better. I will say, I think I mentioned that here recently. Used to freeze a lot. If you have AT&T, I think it's a decent value. If you don't, I would go with Sling 100% every single day, because it's too expensive if you don't have DirecTV. You can get a great Sling package for $25 that has, well, now we're on ESPN, so it's different, but it has FS1 and FS2, ESPN1, ESPN2. And they've been around a little bit longer, well, quite a bit longer than DirecTV Now, obviously. I mean, not longer than DirecTV, but longer than DirecTV's been in the digital game. One of the biggest issues I have is it says it'll save your ID, that'll keep you logged in, but it almost takes me a while to log in. Sometimes it takes a couple times. It's kind of strange. All right, big bouts coming up here. Everybody, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. But thank you for getting me to monetization on yet another channel. I was pretty bummed, obviously, about having fights with friends, having my stream banned. And I don't know what's going on with my sign in here, but DirecTV's acting up on me. Loads all the way up and then it kicks me back to the load screen. Well, that's bullshit. We may just end up talking some UFC. You want out, kitty? I think my cat wants out. You want out or in or what? He doesn't know what he wants. I think he wants attention. He's jealous. So. Oh, come on. Alright, guys. I might have to reset my password here real quick. Hey, what's your problem, huh? Hey, Rebecca? You want to make sure the cat has some food and water? Or do you want outside? He can't decide if he wants outside or not. Sorry, guys. Rest of the playoffs are on NBC. Yes, they are. I am switching over the NBC Sports, actually. So I'm trying to log into my DirecTV right now, and it's giving me some issues. Dean says, hi, Rebecca. Oh, my cat went out. He must have found something to hunt out there. He'll probably want back in 5 minutes. All right, looks like they gave me a temporary password here. So that's a stupid thing. I know I didn't change my password. But, because when I go to create a new one, it's going to say you can't use the old password. But on the eve of the big fight, like we talked about, and I will be giving away those rare gloves tomorrow. Rare MMA gloves. And the return of Tony Ferguson, I mean, that's kind of being overlooked in all the hype. And Anthony Pettis, I mean, Anthony Pettis, you know, this seems to be Anthony Pettis 2.0. He seems to be back. I kind of thought that people were overreacting a little bit as it was. If Conor wins, what could be next for him? He's been calling guys out left and right, and he's been playing an interesting mind game with George St. Pierre. Now, if Conor fought George St. Pierre, I believe Conor would be the A side for the first time ever in any fight. And Conor came out saying something that George St. Pierre has said about several different fighters. He says, I don't know that George really has anything to offer me. And you know he was trying to get under George's skin. You know he wants a fight with George. I mean, it's one of the biggest fights out there. He's even talked about fighting Anderson Silva, which that's absolutely crazy. Please. No. Anderson Silva is way too big. I mean, there's weight classes for a reason. As we've found out recently, we found out between Gegard Mousasi and Rory McDonald exactly why there's weight classes. I'm not saying that was all of it. I'm not going to take any credit away from Gegard Mousasi, and there was a definite weight advantage. You know, definite size advantage for Gegard Mousasi. And we seen this. Tito Ortiz came into the UFC, went against their champion, Alexander Shlevenko. And I think it was their 170 champion, and he was a light heavyweight. They fought at light heavyweight. And Tito stomped him. Tito's way past his prime. Shlevenko, you know, was thought to be a better fighter at the time. You know, undefeated, I believe. He's undefeated in one loss in his prime, and Tito stomped him. He's just so much bigger. And, I mean, you know, size is... There's a reason there's size in that. George is a worse matchup for Conor than Khabib. I think so. I think George is a horrible matchup for Conor because he's got Khabib-style wrestling. I mean, I don't know whose wrestling is better, to be honest, Khabib's or GSP. They're different styles of wrestling. George St. Pierre is definitely the more complete MMA fighter. And it looks like there's going to be 18 minutes before they start the main card here on PFL, which is just fine with me because we'll talk some UFC. George is just so well-rounded. Yeah, I mean, you've seen it against Bisping. He goes up in weight. Oh, wow, if anybody's watching NBC Sports News or Sports Network right now, Anybody watching at this green Chevy Nova? Hey, Rebecca, come here and look at this. Come here and look at this car. This is the car that I've had that I was talking about growing up. That's a 69 Nova.
Oh. Wasn't yours red, though?
Mine was red. This is a green one.
Will you open this?
Yeah, of course. There you go. Can you grab me a beer, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, George is definitely a very well-rounded fighter, and I don't know. I just don't see a path to victory for Conor against George. So, and maybe that's why Conor says that. Maybe Conor really does have no interest in fighting him. I mean, it would be a big fight. Something I will say about Conor. Oh, and this is an auction. This is kind of cool. I'm curious how much this is going to go for. Oh, this is a 66 Chevrolet Nova. I know you guys that aren't watching this don't want to hear about this car auction, but it got my attention because it was the Chevy Nova SS that I had growing up. But no, George, I don't know where George goes next. I mean, who does he fight? I'd like to see him fight Tyron Woodley. I think Woodley might be a bit big for him. George has been doing some test cuts to 155. And we could end up seeing George Khabib. I don't know how well that fight sells, to be honest. That fight doesn't intrigue me. I think George beats Khabib, though. But I want to see Conor versus Nate Diaz, the trilogy. And something I was glad to see Conor say, if you guys have noticed, Conor has not done a lot of media for this fight coming up. And he said he wants to concentrate on his training. And I'm fine with that. I completely understand where he's coming from on that. But he did do Ariel Helwani as a favor about 4 days ago. He said he was doing it because Ariel supported him before he was big. And he said on there, he said he respects Nate Diaz. He says he loves and respects that man. And they can do that trilogy fight anytime. And I would love to see that fight. Khabib called out George. Yes, he did. I wonder how much Conor trained after the Mayweather fight. Right after, I mean, I don't think he trained a whole lot. But recently, right now, I mean, in this training camp, I imagine he's been training a lot. And there's been pictures of him out there. It doesn't look like he ever got wildly out of shape. But, I mean, that's a long time for anybody to be away from the game. And he's going to need everything to beat Khabib. I think he has to get inside Khabib's head to win this fight. And I think he has a little bit. He did his research, though. When he came to that press conference, if you go back, he did his research. That was, say what you want about his erratic behavior at the press conference. You go back and look at the actual words. That was some high-level trash talk. I mean, if you were trying to get under Khabib's skin. I mean, he found out about some things with the politics and history and his family. And I guess them having something to do with Putin putting some guy in jail. I don't know how true it all is. It was kind of hard to fact check. But it definitely got under Khabib's skin. You could see Khabib starting to get upset. And Khabib, trust me, Khabib wants to kill Conor. That's exactly what Conor McGregor wanted. So he's accomplished, I think, as much as he could do with Khabib. And if Khabib comes in against him aggressively, I mean, obviously in a perfect world for Conor McGregor, he gets Khabib so upset that Khabib wants to strike with him. That's never going to happen. And Khabib's going to go for the takedown. All the stare down, Khabib didn't even get close to Conor and stood back. Khabib usually gets in people's faces. I'm going to have to watch the weigh-in. at the media conference stare down. Oh yeah, but the weigh-in stare down, Khabib was more aggressive. And that's the one I generally look at. Is the weigh-in. There's lots of mental games that fighters play before you get into the cage, and I think there is things you can read from the weigh-ins. I mean, it's not 100% rule, but people definitely get in people's heads. And I want to talk about Conor McGregor for a minute, because I've been very critical of Conor McGregor and his fast rise to success in the UFC, because he has received great preferential treatment, and Dana White's even admitted this. But the one thing you can say about Conor McGregor is when he came in to the UFC through the gate, he fought all the top guys. I mean, he came in the UFC fighting Max Holloway. I mean, that was either his first or second fight. I don't remember if it was his first or second, forgive me, but you got to respect that. He fought Chad Mendes, and in his fourth fight. Chad Mendes is a stud. Chad Mendes had battles with Jose Aldo. And then to come in there and just, maybe that was his third fight, actually, because I think Aldo was his fourth fight. His fourth fight, he wins the championship. He definitely gets in Jose Aldo's head. I mean, just completely mind F's him. Jose Aldo was mentally out of that fight way before it opened. And then he got in Eddie Alvarez's head. He made Eddie Alvarez look like a rookie. Alvarez froze so bad that he apologized to his corners and trainers for not being able to fight because Conor was in his head so much. The one guy that he wasn't able to get into his head that matches his trash talking was Nate. And when Nate beat him, he went all the way up to 170. And I even got to give him credit for that. This is a guy that fought at 135 at one time. His natural fighting weight was 145. It was not a hard cut for him to get to 145. But he challenged himself. And remember, the only reason he took the fight against Nate at 170 is because he was supposed to be fighting Rafael Dos Anjos at 155, and Dos Anjos dropped out as like 10 or 11 day notice, and Conor's like, I don't care who I fight. Fine, Nate Diaz. Oh, okay. Oh, Nate Diaz can't fight at 155? What weight class is he at? 170? We'll fight over there. I don't care. So I got to give him a lot of respect for that. Did you see Volkan's body kick to Lewis? What? No, I didn't. Aldo versus McGregor, you could see Aldo was scared. Oh yeah, man, he was terrified. I don't think he was so much. He was a little scared of Conor McGregor. He was uncomfortable with Conor McGregor, but that's part of it. Another part of it is Conor McGregor just builds up this event to such a magnitude that the pressure, I think, it just crushes guys. It crushed Eddie Alvarez. And Alvarez had been in championship bouts in Strikeforce, in Bellator, and in the UFC. And he made that event a pressure cooker. I mean, that's what he does. And that's what he's trying to do with this, with Khabib. And I don't think it's working the same as it has on other guys. It's probably working a little more than it did on Nate Diaz. I don't think Nate Diaz really cares what you say to him, because he's going to come as hard at you as you are at him. And Khabib's not that kind of guy. He doesn't get into the verbal warfare, really. About the most he's going to say, is give me an address. Well, he gave him an address, and we're all going to tune in tomorrow. We all got the address. What's up, Consciousness is God? What's going on, man? I am good, man. At the post-fight interview, Alvarez said he didn't stick to the game plan when he lost. Yeah, I seen that. And nobody is talking about OSP versus Dominique Reyes. Violent matchup. That is an incredible matchup, Constance. I'm taking Reyes in this one. I've taken him pretty much since the beginning. I believe OSP started out as a betting favorite in the early. It is not the case right now. Most of the money's been coming in on Reyes, and a lot of it. OSP has definitely been in there with some top-notch competition. He's got a lot of holes in his game. I've heard a lot of people talk about this. Nicholson was talking about this the other day, that he leaves himself open a lot, and Kenny Foreman. But obviously he's been able to adjust because, you know, John Jones couldn't catch him. A lot of guys couldn't catch him. So we'll see. Pettis and Ferguson. I got Ferguson, but I do not count out Anthony Pettis. I think he has been as good as ever recently. It's hard to bet against Tony Ferguson, but I would have those odds a little tighter just because you don't know if Tony Ferguson's 100% healed. I mean, that's the big question. I don't know that he is. It's a very quick turnaround to come back from that injury. I settled with Reyes by TKO and Ferguson by sub. That's what I have, actually. This card could very easily be another UFC 189. Yeah, it's a good card, man. At least, especially your main event and your co-main. And then, like you said, OSP versus Reyes. That's another good fight. It's not as loaded. It's not as loaded overall as 228 will be, and I don't know that it's as loaded. It's not as loaded as 230 would have been if John Jones had been there. Let's flip chapters ahead just a little bit, though, and talk about UFC 230 and talk about John Jones, though. For those of you that are just coming in, there's a break in between the prelims and the main event for PFL, and it will be starting in about 5 minutes. But to go ahead, Chael Sonnen confirmed on his show this week. A lot of people had speculated. He confirmed it. He said 100%. John Jones was offered the fight against Alexander Gustafsson, and he refused it. For UFC 230. And of course, a lot of people have been getting after Sijura Eubanks. Sijura Eubanks taking this title shot against Valentino Shevchenko for Nico Montano's old belt at 115. And I've never been upset with Eubanks. I made a video. I said it was a big fail for Dana. But I didn't realize how many things had fallen through. Now, they'd offered the fight to Joanna. She said that it wasn't enough time. It's the same fight. It's the same everything. It's just a month earlier. So I don't see why Joanna should be upset that she didn't end up with her title shot. She was offered a title shot, and she didn't take it. Yes, I understand that fighters prepare a certain way. You want to have a full training camp. All that stuff is ideal. But Shevchenko was in a similar position, and, I mean, she took the match like that. She wants a championship, and I think she'll dominate at 115. Or her only competition, I really see, is Joanna. Now, is Eubanks going to come in there? Is she the best matchup against Shevchenko? Of course not. I mean, she's got like 6 fights, I believe I said, 4-2. And Dana White said he didn't even know who she was. And she responded to that in a genius way on Twitter, too. She said, "You'll know who the F I am after October 6th. And anytime you're in New Jersey, you want to practice some jiu-jitsu, come on by, big boy." So, props to her. And nobody can get mad at Shevchenko or Eubanks for this. I mean, give Eubanks credit for stepping up to the plate. Nobody else was willing to do it. Joanna wasn't willing to do it. John Jones wasn't willing to do it. Who knows what other fighters were offered this fight, but there is speculation that Yoel Romero was possibly offered it. He's still pretty beat up from that Robert Whittaker fight, though. They both are. I mean, they went through hell in that fight, and Yoel couldn't make weight that quickly. It would have had to have been at 205, and I would have liked to see him against Gustafsson at 205. And I don't know that he did refuse it. Nobody's confirmed that. That's just speculative. Burns me out. UFC is probably going to strip DC. You bring up very good points, man. Shevchenko is a monster in her own right. That home fight never ceases to amaze me. Sorry to spam your comment section, man. No, comment, please. Keep commenting. Nobody else says consciousness. Now, no, other people are commenting, but yeah, no, don't feel bad about that. Keep the show going. No, I agree with you. She's a monster. She's like a smaller version of Cyborg. She can't really compete with Cyborg because she's just not at the right weight class, and there's not enough weight classes in women's MMA yet. But now, they got this 115 weight class, and it's like, okay, she's like, this is where I'm comfortable to fight at, and I think I can dominate here, and I think she's right. I think she's absolutely right, and there's a lot of good fights that come with 230. Of course, Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier continue to try to push Dana's hand to make that fight for 165-pound title. I think he should have done that over making the Shevchenko-Eubank fight, but it's done now. It's done now. We have the fight that we have. And Chael Sonnen brung up a good point. If you don't listen to his podcast, and he's smart enough, he definitely could have done a lot of things other than MMA fighting. But one of the things he brung up is, in a way, as fans, we don't really know what we want. He brought up, he says, Ford, Henry Ford said, if I would have gave consumers what they wanted, we would have faster horses. They couldn't make the concept of a car. We don't know what that fight's going to end up like. We don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes. And what a story. If Eubanks was able to pull that off, she is very motivated now. That comment from Joe Rogan, it was on his fight companion with Brendan Schaub when he said he didn't know who Sahara Eubanks was. That really fired her up and motivated her. And they got Kevin Hart hyping the Professional Fighters League. That costs a ton of money. They put a lot of money into doing this right, and that's why they've been able to make so much ground in 1 year. Facebook and NBC Sports probably had to put up over $1 million, I'm sure, for Kevin Hart just to do this little intro. Such as yourself, my Friday and Saturday nights are dedicated to prize fighting. I would love to see Valentina versus Cyborg. It's a good fight. I think Valentina's just a little small for her. I mean, she's definitely a lot smaller girl. If I asked the people what they wanted, they would say faster horses. That was gold. Yeah, and that's the thing. And Steve Jobs said something similar. He says people don't know what they want until they know what's available. I mean, who would have ever, thought that we would have wanted more talking from Conor McGregor? We've all been complaining all he was doing was talking. He wasn't fighting. It was all this talking. Now there's a fight to build. He's doing less press. He's training. Everybody's asking, why aren't we getting more talking from Conor McGregor? You got to look at it and kind of take to his point, being like, man, I can't win. If I talk too much, people are going to complain that I talk too much, but then if I don't talk enough, they're going to complain. So I think he's doing the right thing. I hope he's getting the right training. And I really don't have a horse in that fight. I mean, I have two horses. I like both those guys for different reasons. I like Khabib. You know, I just like Khabib all around. As a person, as a fighter, I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great talent. And I think he's a gentleman. Conor McGregor, he's one of these guys that's, you know, he's an entertainer and a fighter. And as much as we hate to say it right now, for the casual fans, which you need the casual fans to come out, you have to have somebody who's an entertainer. And who would have thought when Conor McGregor got that tailor and came out in that first press suit that would have led to hundreds of millions of dollars. They're talking about he's going to get over $50 million for Khabib. That's way more than anybody's ever made in the UFC. It's not as much as he got maybe for Floyd, but that's a ton of money. It's way more than anybody's ever gotten. Nobody besides him's ever gotten $10 million. Bro, new fan, but please do homework before speaking on topics. For instance, Dana said today that he will probably make Diaz fight main card 230, but not for a 165 belt. What's up, Robert Kerrigan? I don't think I said anything differently. Dana said today he will probably make Diaz fight. Are you saying he's going to make it the main event? I know he's not going to make it the 165 pound. And respectfully, thank you for coming in, Robert. I do have a full-time job on top of this. I wish I could do this all the time. I was at work for 10 hours today. I'm come home to do the PFL. I haven't watched the weigh-in yet. So if he said he's going to make that the main event, no, I haven't heard it yet. Steven Silar versus Nazareno Melgar. Featherweight quarterfinal, 2 5-minute rounds. Number 1 seed versus number 8 seed. Yeah, a lot of submissions between these two guys coming up. Steven Styler and Nazareno Melgar. If you're looking for somewhere to watch this and follow along, it's on NBC Sports Network. You might be able to get a free trial out there if you don't have NBC Sports Network. But who can trust what Dana says? If the fans want it, it happens. I agree. Steven Silar, 31 years old, 5'10", 146 pounds. Nazareno Melgar, 32, 5'8", 146, 70-inch reach. I used to work 10-hour days. I can't do it anymore. Not worth it. Yeah, I'm kind of at an optionless point if I want my job right now. It's one of those things, it's like I have so many stores to do, and I got to go until it's done. And I worked a little bit extra today to try to make sure that it doesn't happen to me tomorrow. No, I agree with you, though, Jason. It's not worth it. It's not something I plan on continuing. Dana said that he can make Diaz a 5-rounder. Oh, nice. Nazareno Melgar, MMA record 29-5, 5 knockouts, 7 submissions. But why should those guys fight for 5 rounds? You're going to have to, respectfully, if I'm Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier, you better sweeten the pot for me now. You signed them to a 3-round fight You want him to fight for 5 rounds. I get what Dana's saying. Steven Silar, 31-17, 6 knockouts, also 17 submissions. Both these guys each have 17 submissions. So definitely going to look for a lot of high-level grappling. A lot of times when you have 2 high-level grapplers, though, it ends up becoming a striking match because the grappling nullifies everything. Yes, the main event, I'm disabled, can't work, know any and everything about UFC since the early 90s. I've been watching it for a long time too, Robert. Sorry to hear about that. I was all waiting for you to play the video. Love your streams, though. Thank you, Robert. Sorry, 7, I can't play this one. It's on NBC. That would definitely get me in trouble. Silar comes in, lands a big left hand to start this one out. Silar, like I said, the #1 seed here at featherweight. Melgar lands a right hand coming in. Silar, nice low leg kick. And this will all culminate the main event on New Year's Eve. That's when they're going to give away the $1 million prizes. Oh, nice 1-2 and a low leg kick there from Silar again. Oh, they both land at the same time. Melgar lands a big left hook, but Silar lands an even bigger right hand and floors Melgar. And he's stunned, and this is going to make it a lot easier for Silar to get a submission here. Not that it's going to be easy. When you got another guy that has 17 submission attempts, or 17 submissions, you can guess his submission defense is going to be pretty solid. But you get a guy stunned, that plays a big factor. Silar trying to circle Melgar on the ground. Oh, he's got a guillotine. He's got a standing guillotine. Oh, he lands a nice knee to the head. He's got a standing guillotine, but he just landed 3 knees to the head. These are big, and he drops that guillotine and turns it over. I don't know that it's going to be deep enough. Nope, and he gives it up. And now he's pressing with the elbow. Silar is. These guys, elbows are not allowed for whatever reason. Oh, and he goes for the guillotine attempt again here against Melgar. Again, Melgar slips out. And again, now Silar has a standing guillotine again. Let's see if he goes for those knees again. Oh, no, he's going to drop and flip him over. He's got that in pretty deep. And Melgar slips out again. That's that high-level jiu-jitsu. Both these guys are such high level. And Melgar's got a cut above his right eye. Oh, and he swings for the fences. Silar blocks a right hand there. Silar moving forward halfway through the first round. And just a few rounds here. All these guys, if they win tonight, they're just 2 fights away from that $1 million fight and a minimum of $200,000. That's big money in the prize fight game. When I'm showing you guys stats, doing a video that Bellator has people fighting for $4,000. Trust, $1 million is a lot of freaking money. Oh, big left hook from Melgar. Oh, big right hook from Melgar. Silar landing the more strikes. Melgar landing some big bombs all of a sudden, though. And great defense ducking underneath Silar's shots. Melgar using that lower center of gravity to get under those shots. Nice low leg kick there from Silar. Nice jab from Silar. Oh, big right hook from Silar as Melgar comes in aggressive. Straight right from Melgar. And like I said, you have 2 big jiu-jitsu guys. It could definitely end up being a striking match. And it looks like now that's what it's becoming. Oh, big left hook and a right hand for Silar. 50 seconds left in this first round. Now remember this weird rule If it ends up being a draw on the scorecards, the tiebreaker is whoever wins the first round. Oh, big right hand over the top against Melgar. Oh, and Silar lands a big left hook. These guys are just in a boxing match now. And right hand from Melgar and a big left hook. Silar lands a nice jab there. Silar's got a funky style. Kind of reminds me of like a Nate Diaz kind of stance. Hands down, very fluid. Gives you some really weird movements. Melgar lands a big right hand over the top, though. Melgar more of a conventional boxing stance. Love your streams, though. Well, thank you, Robert Kerrigan. I appreciate you being here, man. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's like until I'm able to do this full time, and right now I'm really not making much money at it at all because, like we're talking about, my super chat. I don't even have super chat right now. I have PayPal. I have, if anybody wants to donate to my PayPal, it's paypal.me/fightswithfriends. Would be greatly appreciated. I know not everybody's got a PayPal, but if you guys chip in for that pay-per-view tomorrow, I greatly appreciate it, because I'm going to make it a point tomorrow that I'm not even going to throw my PayPal out there. There's no super chat. It's a big event, and I'm not even going to tell people what my PayPal is because I don't want anybody to feel like, you know, they're pressured to donate any money. But I definitely appreciate the donations I get from you guys, and they have been, especially the regulars, you guys have taken care of me. Nice right hand and a left hook there from Melgar. A big right hand from Melgar. I know it was a little more convenient. More you guys have super chat than PayPal's. Nice low leg kicks from Silar. Two from that back foot to the front leg of Melgar, and then from the front leg to the inside front leg of Melgar. Oh, big right hand and a left hook from Melgar. Silar really needs to be using his reach. He has a significant reach, and he's not using that jab, I don't think, enough to keep Melgar out on the outside. Melgar's clinching him up against the fence now, going for underhooks. He may go for a takedown. Lands some left hooks here in the clinch up against the fence. Since you can't show the fights, make your screen bigger right now. You are an inch by an inch of a quarter. Yeah, in between rounds, I'll do that. I know it's pretty small, man. Nice right hand there from Melgar. Nice low leg kick there from Silar. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the pop-out chat on the side of the screen. That was something new I tried today. So I was told it might help for people watching on the phone, because you can put the top chat away and then you can watch it in side view. So that's really the advantage to the pop-out chat for those that are wondering. Straight right hand and a nice left hook there from Melgar. That was great. And a big left hook from Melgar. Oh, big straight right and a left hook from Melgar there. Melgar looking much better. I think he's winning this round. I gave the first one to Silar. Nice jab and a big right hand from Melgar. And we could end up seeing definitely a draw on the scorecards. Nice low leg kick there for Silar. And it'll be interesting to see how the crowd responds if we have the first fight that's a draw and they give it to one fighter because of the rule that it's whoever wins the first round. Nice left hook from Melgar. Silar with the good leg kick. But Melgar's landed the harder shots this round and more constant shots. Silar shoots for the takedown. Melgar turns it around and ends up on top. Jim Tran, so you can't show UFC tomorrow. No, Jim Tran, I can't show the UFC fight. Sorry, man. I could do my best for the play-by-play to let you guys know what's going on, but that's definitely that would definitely be the end of my channel. The UFC would come after me very aggressively, and I'll tell you what, they came after me. Their English division, the European division of the UFC, came out after me very aggressively after the Darren Till fight. Our Darren Till and was the one in England. I was drawing a blank. Stephen Thompson. They actually tried to suspend my stream then, and I showed nothing. A big left hook from Melgar, and I won that challenge. I didn't tell anybody, but my channel was actually suspended for about a week. Oh, nice left hook there from Silar, stuns Melgar. Melgar going for the home run shot, just coming forward, straight right hand and a left hook. And, I mean, I won the challenge because there was nothing they could say. I showed absolutely nothing for that fight. You couldn't even hear the sound on there. Oh, Silar, nice body kicks. Two left body kicks and then a nice low leg kick there. Big left hook from Melgar, and Silar shoots. Oh, he's not able to get it, and then pulls guard. Last few seconds of the round. So I think this is going to go to whoever they liked in the first round, because I think Melgar won that second round. I thought Silar won the first round. Yeah, sorry, Jim. That's the way it goes, man. Check and see if you have this channel, people, because I just got this channel today. NBC Sports. Oh, wow, yeah, they are adding it to more packages, I guess, Daniel. Yeah, I was surprised. It wasn't on my DirecTV Now package at first either. And it was interesting because even when it wasn't on there, what I was able to do, and I should have told you this, guys, earlier. I need to be quicker on the ball, I guess. I went to NBC Sports Network online, just to the website, and when I typed in my TV provider, it just opened the page up for me. So, and then they do have a free trial, but you might want to save that for a little deeper into the playoffs. It'd be nice if we could all watch it when the finals come. Guy in black shorts won, but he didn't get the first round. It was 7. Yeah, that's what I got it. 2018 Silar. And Steven Silar gets it, and that is the first time it's happened. It was a majority draw. 2019 and 1919 on 2 cards, and the tiebreaker goes to Steven Silar because he won the first round. That's something they gotta fix. I mean, I've gave major props to the PFL, but I cannot ignore the stupidity of this rule, for lack of a better word. And you got Ray Sefo, one of the greatest minds in combat sports history, probably. And he comes up with this rule where you're going to have 2-round fights in the opening playoff round for a $10 million tournament, and you're going to come up with a stupid rule where there's 2 rounds, and if each fighter wins a round, whoever won the first round gets it. That makes absolutely no sense. Steven Silar goes on to fight Almeida in the next round. Lance Palmer, of course, going to be fighting Andre Harrison now. That's a dynamite fight, number 2 and 3, Lance Palmer against Andre Harrison. That's a shady rule. Boss Rudin said, any ideas welcome. Yeah, that's number 1 bullshit. Too much money on the line for that robbery. Yeah, it doesn't even make any sense. It sounds like an idea that one of these idiot executives at NBC came up with and says, oh, well, we don't have time for all these 3-round fights, so let's make it 2-round fights. And they said, oh, well, there's going to be too many draws. And then I'm guessing, this is just me speculating, some idiot executive said, oh, well, give it to whoever starts quickest. Whoever wins the first round, that's your winner. Explain that to me. Someone explain that to me, how that makes sense. How Steven Silar beat Melgar tonight. He didn't beat him. It was a draw. He didn't beat him. It's absolutely ridiculous. I hope that's something they fix quickly, because I'm going to continue to be vocal about that. Like I said, I'm going to try to get in contact as much as I can with PFL. And I encourage you guys, if you contact them, being respectful, I would be respectful. Say, you guys have been doing a great job, but this is just a ridiculous rule. Francimar Barroso versus Josh Copeland at heavyweight next. 2 5-minute rounds. This is the main event. Oh, no problem, Robert. I almost bet on Silar's opponent until I heard you say the rules for tonight. Yeah, I hear you, Saul. That's you would think would cause some issues with Vegas, with sports bettors too. I mean, I guess they know the rules going into it, but it's like, man, I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all, and honestly, for me, it takes a lot away from this first round of matchups. It takes a lot of the fun away. Like I said, they've still done a great job. I've enjoyed a lot of the fights on here. Francimar Barroso, 38. They're both 6'1". Barroso came in at 242. Josh Copeland's 35. He came in at 264. Reaches even at 75 inches, but Copeland's going to have a 22-pound weight advantage. Or Barroso will have a speed advantage, depending on how you look at it. Boss said they can only have 2 and then 3-round fights because the commission will only allow them 5 rounds in a night. That's right. That's something I forgot I didn't mention earlier. I guess these guys are able to fight twice tonight. MMA record, Josh Copeland, 17-5, 5 knockouts, 5 submissions. Are they fighting? Well, are they fighting twice tonight, or are they fighting twice in the month? I'm not even 100% clear on that, Daniel. I don't think they made that clear. If they did, I missed it at the beginning. Francimar Barroso, MMA record 21-7, 9 knockouts, 7 submissions. Barroso is a beast, and he looks focused. This is one of the top heavyweights in all of Brazil. I mean, this is one of those guys, when you've seen his name for this tournament, it's like, okay, you put that kind of money out, this is the kind of talent you draw. This guy could compete with a lot of guys in the UFC. Francimar Barroso versus Josh Copeland. All right, and here we go. Francimar immediately sticking the jab out there. Copeland's going to want to go for the takedown. Oh, big right hook over the top. And he may not because of Barroso's jiu-jitsu. Copeland's got a good wrestling background, but I'm not sure how good he is off his back. I haven't seen him off his back a lot. And these guys both just kind of posturing in the center of the cage right now. A little hesitant to engage. Oh, big right hook. Big right hook, and Barroso lands a right hand. They both land right hands at the same time, and Copeland just swinging for the fences. He's like number 8 seed. That's kind of what underdogs do sometimes, is just swing. Nice low leg kick for Barroso. Oh, big right hand for Copeland. And I'll tell you, man, Copeland's a big dude. He's a big, powerful looking dude. For sure. I mean, he might have a little bit of extra weight on him, but he's not like a Roy Nelson. Oh, big right hand lands for Copeland. Big jab and a big right hand. Barroso lands an uppercut inside and immediately clinches. I don't think he wants to get in a stand-up war with Copeland. Is it just me, or does Copeland kind of remind you guys of a heavyweight version of the Barbarian Tim Bosch? Copeland kind of gives me that vibe. Oh, nice left hook on the inside there from Copeland, and that's the thing. It's like Copeland come in here, start strong, win that first round. Basically, you win that first round, unless the other fighter finishes you, you won the fight. And they're back standing halfway through this first round. There's not been a lot of action, but I think most of it's been from Copeland. Big right hand there from Copeland. Oh, and a big left hook. See, Barroso at times has been a little bit of a slower starter. You cannot afford to be a slow starter in a 2-round fight. 2 minutes left in this first round. And Barroso's got a big cut on the right side of his forehead. It's not above the eye. It doesn't look like it'll mess with his eyesight, so it shouldn't be an issue. Big left hook there from Barroso. And Copeland, he just busted open his jaw. Copeland looks like he's got some blood coming out of his mouth. Whoa, Barroso really went for a haymaker right hand there. Lands a nice kick to the body. Oh, Copeland comes in aggressive, throws a bunch of shots, lands the left hook. At the end of it, he just lands flurries. He's aggressive and presses. And it looked like he froze Barroso up a little bit right there. Oh, nice low leg kick there from Barroso. Barroso kind of looks like he's kind of faking that right hand to set up the left hook, and Copeland just throws the combinations. Oh, nice right hand there from Barroso. Looked like it grazed Copeland. Oh, nice double jab and a right hand for Copeland. He ducks under the shot of Barroso. Oh, nice left hook for Copeland. We could see a number 8 over a number 1 seed upset here easily. Nice double jab there for Copeland, and he switches stance again. He switched from orthodox to southpaw a couple times here. Oh, Barroso moves to the side, lands the left hook. Barroso's definitely, I would think, has got to be losing this round. Barroso throws a head kick, grazes Copeland there. That'll help him. And Boss Rutan and Randy Couture seem to agree with me that Josh Copeland probably won that first round. We'll see what the judges think, but Francimar Barroso really didn't do a whole lot. Oh, twice tonight. I thought I'd seen something about him fighting twice tonight, Daniel, but I didn't see any more fights scheduled. Just now joining in, buddy. You're killing it. Well, thank you, Nat. I appreciate it. Watch your live stream of glory. Stayed up all night. How about that Final Fight Championship on CBS Sports last night? Oh, yeah, thank you. No, the Ryzen, you mean? Yeah, Ryzen was great. I didn't see the fight championship on CBS Sports. I was up at 3 this morning, man. Could you live stream FFC? When is the next FFC? I can look into it. Impressive challenges. I dare you to huff the paint for a moment. Oh, yeah, no, I'm good on that. All right, here we go. Round 2. Big right hook for Barroso to start this round out. And I'm thinking Francois Barroso's corner in between rounds said, hey, this is only a 2-round fight. Maybe you forgot. If you might have to finish this guy now. You lost that first round. And Copeland lands a nice right hand there. Barroso lands a left hook, but Barroso is definitely going to be going for the finish. Nice left hook and movement out of the way from Barroso there. Another left hook for Barroso. Another right hand from Barroso. So, yeah, whoever wins this... Oh, big right hook for Copeland. Whoever wins this will face off against Alex Nicholson tonight. Wow, yeah, I had seen that it said that they would fight twice, but I only seen the first 10 fights scheduled. So this is going to get very interesting. Nice body kick there from Barroso. So this is kind of like an old school first UFC style tournament, as close as we can get to it apparently. Nice right hand there from Copeland. And we're about a minute and a half into this second round. And Barroso's really, not done a whole lot more in this round than he did in the last round. Nice left hook and a right hand there from Barroso, but Copeland lands a nice right hand and a jab. Oh, and a big straight right. Copeland may have hurt him there. Barroso's holding on. Lands a knee to the body up against the fence there. So, yeah, we will see the quarterfinals and the semifinals tonight. Everybody who wins will fight twice tonight. Oh, big right hand and a big left hook there from Copeland. Copeland's boxing's been slick tonight. And they exchange shots there. Nice double jab there from Copeland. Nice kick there from Barroso. But, see, and this is why I don't pay a lot of attention to the fight stats. Like, they just put up the fight stats that even and punches landed. And I should go back sometime and see if I can count the strikes. But I just don't really trust it. And I like the feel of the fight more than looking at statistics. Nice low leg kick there from Barroso. I just don't think you can go back at statistics and say, oh, look at this. This guy landed more leg kicks or something. It's like, if you don't know who won the fight at the end, either the fight, is objective and it could go either way, or you really don't know how to score a fight. If you have to go to stats, then you're not really judging the fight on the fight. You're judging the fight off somebody sitting there with a clicker. And I don't agree with that. It's much more effective in boxing. It's much more important in boxing than it is in MMA. But in boxing, you got, 10 and 12 round bouts also. So it's a much different sport. Barroso, nice left uppercut and a left hook up against the fence, but he needs the finish. I mean, MMA is barely a sport. I mean, there are some rules, but it's basically a fight. Barroso, a couple of nice old school foot stomps there, and some left hooks to the body of Copeland, and then upstairs, Copeland lands a knee to the body there. And Barroso, he may pull off this second round, but I don't think it's going to matter. Nice left uppercut and a hook inside for Barroso, knee to the body. He's going to need to get the finish here, and he's got 30 seconds left to do it. Oh, nice knee to the body there from Barroso, but he's running out of time. And he's throwing big knees, but I mean, you got to flatline a guy when you're down to less than 20 seconds if you want the fight to be stopped. Guy can get really stunned with just a few seconds left in them, and they'll continue to let the fight go usually. And that is it. Bit off topic, Tyrone Woodley and Kenny Florian were in Alabama last week for Embattled filming. I was an extra. It was an interesting experience. Hey, that's awesome, Celluel. Good for you. And I say anytime you get a chance to experience something like that, go for it. Unless you're going to lose your job. Seriously, tell your boss to F off. I mean, we all work way too much. The amount of different things that I missed out on when I used to work too much, like Jason was talking about, not working 10-hour days. I mean, I was offered. I have the chance. It wasn't like I did anything to get it, but I had the chance to be an extra in Rocky Balboa, the Rocky movie, and I am a huge Rocky movie. It's one of the biggest things that got me into fighting. And I would have loved to be in that crowd, but work was like, oh, it's not really a convenient time for you to get off, so I didn't push it. And, I wish I would have. It's not the biggest experience ever, but it's fun. Like you say, Silly, well, I would have liked to have taken that, and I'll try to take more opportunities like that in the future. I think everyone should. All three cards have it the same. 19-19. And just as I called it, that's how I have it. 19-19, Josh Copeland. And no booing out of this crowd. Draw advances with first round tiebreak, advances to heavyweight semifinals. Now that I understand that they're fighting twice in a row, I had seen that it said they were going to fight twice in the night, but I wasn't sure if that was a mistake in the graphics or what. So I guess I didn't do my homework there as much. But, man, big upset. Josh Copeland, number 8 Josh Copeland, takes out number 1 seed Francimar Barroso. And he will take on Alexander Nicholson probably within the hour. MMA is seriously growing in Alabama. Oh, nice. Well, that's good. I'm glad to see it growing somewhere. Khabib told me to tell you he loves you. Well, thank you, Ned. Khabib's a good guy. Celia, that's amazing. Did something happen? Just checking back. I love the ref cam angle. That ref cam angle was awesome, man. And Bosch just said, complete different fighter than we've ever seen you before. That was a very impressive fight by Josh Copeland, and I wouldn't say it's a win, but I mean, even to be competitive against Francimar Barroso, I didn't expect that. Barroso he's a very good heavyweight. And I think that one kind of should have an asterisk by by the win or loss. I mean, to take nothing away from Josh Copeland, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He played under the rules that they have, and he's going on to the next round. But Francois Barroso deserves to go to the next round just as much. So, what I would say, if I was to give some advice to PFL, if they're only going to let them fight 5 rounds in a night, this is what I would do. And this would take a little training on the judges. And I'm not sure the commission would allow it. But take both rounds and tell the judges, okay, just like any other fight, a draw is a very, very rare outcome. And we want you to judge this fight on the fight as a whole, not by the rounds. And I mean that would be hard, I know, to get judges out of their normal thinking. We know some of them already have some difficulties with the way things are, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me. If anybody else has got a better idea, I'm all ears. Yeah, no problem. Kirill Rumsey, why no video? When it went to NBC Sports, you can't restream NBC Sports, man. You're getting a lot of trouble. Not only are YouTubers facing suspension and losing their channel for things like that, they're also facing legal action and legal threats. So you just can't do it. Sorry, it's on NBC Sports if you want video. Thank you, Robert. Love your commentary for real. Well, thank you, Ned. I appreciate it. Yeah, that makes more sense. That's how I normally judge a fight anyways. Yeah, I like the idea, Daniel, of judging a fight as a whole. So Robert, I'm sure Robert knows who this guy is. You know who Jeremy Horn is. I've talked back and forth with Jeremy Horn, and we've been trying to get him on the show. We just haven't been able to match our schedules up to talk about judging. And he, for one thing, he let me up on the Demetrius Johnson-Henry Cejudo fight. He was upset that anybody could see that fight for anybody other than Demetrius Johnson. But the other thing is, when I told him I thought fights should be judged as a whole, he had a disagreement with me on that. I think it might have been the way I worded it, because I worded it like I said, like Pride did. And I guess he said Pride, they judged the end of the fight more so than the beginning. Lance Palmer versus Andre Harrison, featherweight semifinal next. Number 2 versus number 3. Earlier tonight, Lance Palmer beat number 7 Max Koga. Alex Harrison, or Andre Harrison, excuse me, since we've been on, got a win over Bezerra. They will now fight each other. This is a great matchup. And Andre Harrison, coming into this is the guy I picked to win the entire tournament. Lance Palmer, probably a close second. So I'm very excited about this fight. So we're going to have coming up the number 2 versus the number 3 seed, and then the number 1 versus the number 5 seed. And then after tonight, it looks like the featherweight and the heavyweight finals will be set. So that's it. You get into the playoffs. I thought you had to win one more fight. Apparently, you get into the playoffs, you win 2 fights in one night, and you get into the finals for $1 million. $1 million. A lot of these guys, I mean, to win 4 fights. And that's why you have so much talent. I know I've continued to talk about it, but you got some really good guys in here that really could cause a lot of trouble for the top guys in Bellator and UFC. Rick Story actually turned down a UFC contract, went away from MMA for 2 years, and this tournament brought him back. and he's been impressive in his first couple matches back. I don't know if he plans on coming back to MMA full-time or if this is a one-off. He went back to school and got his firefighter's degree. If anybody remembers Rick the Horror Story, you know, he kind of walked away and disappeared at 32. That's what he was doing. He was off becoming a fireman. And then this tournament brought him out. He never retired, but he took some time off. He said that it bothered him so much knowing that he didn't have anything to fall back on after fighting that he wanted to not sign a new contract yet, and he wanted to go out and take care of that. And I mean, it makes sense if it was bothering you that much. I pick Andre to win. I'm getting the UFC 229 tomorrow. Can't wait for your reaction. Nice, Robert. All right, PFL, Lance Palmer versus Andre Harrison. They're both 30 years old. Lance Palmer, 5'6", Andre Harrison, 5'8". Reach exactly the same at 69 inches. Palmer weighed in 1 pound heavier at 146. And I pick Harrison in this one too, but I expect this to be a battle. But yeah, I got the same one as you, Robert. What's up, Panhead Bob? Yes, please, everybody like and subscribe. And hey, Robert, email me at fightswithfriends@gmail.com, and I got something for you to save. If you have you ordered your pay-per-view yet? If you haven't ordered it yet, just got home. Glad to have you in, Panhead Bob. Stay off the roof, man. It's dark outside. Andre Harrison, 20-0. Just moved to 20-0, and that's a big thing too. Everybody coming out of this tournament, I mean, they're going to come out with 4 more wins on their record in a short amount of time. So that's just another benefit. I mean, fighters are kind of all or nothing people anyway, so it makes sense that so many of them would come into, you know, it's kind of a lottery that you have control over. Lance Palmer, 15-3. He's got 8 submissions. Andre Harrison's going to have to watch out when they get on the ground. I was going to use my Xfinity remote. Email me at fightswithfriends@gmail.com. I got something interesting for you. It's not an illegal stream, but I might be able to save you some money. So send me your email. I don't want to say it on the stream. It's not illegal, but I don't want it to get too popular because I'm afraid it'll disappear. Hamlin Spectacle and another noon funeral. Gibberish sleeves and other phonetic... What? I'm not sure what you're saying there, Ned. All right, here we go. Andre Harrison, Lance Palmer. Just kind of filling each other out here for the first 30 seconds. You don't have a whole lot of time for filling out here. And as you just said, both fighters went the full 2 rounds earlier. So if they go this full 3 rounds. So, and that's the thing, is like, I know you get a big rest, and it seems like an obvious answer to the question. But what's harder, fighting one 5-round fight against one opponent, or fighting a 2-round fight against one opponent and then a 3-round fight against a totally different opponent? Oh, Andre Harrison going for the spinning head kick. Harrison gets out of, or Palmer gets out of the way. And they're both just kind of circling each other. Palmer goes for a big left hook, but misses. Harrison kind of just feeling out there with the jab. Both these guys very respectful of each other. Palmer goes for the head kick. Harrison blocks it. I mean, everything's on the line here, but it's kind of like everything's on the line this first round if you don't get a finish. And Andre Harrison, as talented as he is, he only has 5 finishes inside of 20 wins. And some boos from the crowd. This is a 3-round fight. Excuse me. I was still on the 2-round. We are in a 3-round fight now. So these guys do have a little more time. This is the semifinals, and a little longer filling out process than the fans would care for. They're getting anxious. And Andre Harrison lands a kick to the groin of Palmer there. And I don't think anybody would think that's intentional. Harrison definitely not a dirty fighter, but it just happens sometimes. And oh yeah, he caught him right with the ball of the foot, front kick right in the groin. Oh, yeah, that. And Palmer just takes a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds. I don't know about you guys, but if I got front kicked in the groin from another MMA fighter, I think I need the full 5 minutes. Oh, a nice right hook there from Harrison. Harrison continuing to go with that front kick, the same one that just went low. He's going to really draw this referee's attention if he lands another low blow, though. Nice left hook there from Palmer. In and out. And, oh, nice right uppercut there from Andre Harrison. This has been a very close first round. Nice left hook there from Palmer. And they continue to circle each other. Oh, nice low leg kick there from Palmer. Oh, and they exchange hooks in the center of the cage. Right hand from Harrison. Another right hand from Harrison. Yeah, I'm a little miffed as to why Harrison has such a low finish rate, though. I know, his opposition has been high level. So maybe he just hasn't fought in some of those feeder leagues like some of these other guys have. But I'm kind of surprised he hasn't learned to finish more fights. And Harrison just kind of dancing on the outside here. Oh, Harrison lands a left hook there, and Palmer kind of slips, I think. He was on the ground for a minute, but I think that was a partial slip. Maybe if he might have been faking a takedown there. It's hard to tell. Yeah, and that's what Randy Couture's saying. He thinks he was kind of faking a shot there. Harrison didn't buy it. So maybe if Palmer would have actually shot, he might have caught Harrison off guard. Not a real entertaining first round. Kind of hard to call that one. Tomorrow, UFC 229, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor. Don't forget, I said I have these rare gloves. They were only given to large retail shops. Only one pair was given to Grocery Outlet as a franchise period. So I'm guessing there could be less than 1,000 of these. I don't know how many. But it was a very short promotion by Monster Energy Drink. Conor McGregor gloves, you can see, not for resale. You cannot get these on eBay. You cannot buy these gloves. I do not know of anyone else that owns a pair. I know that there's some out there, maybe from some franchises, but very few, or executives from Monster. But this is a very rare pair of gloves. I know that much. If you Google Monster Conor McGregor gloves not for resale, you will not find anything. So I'll be giving those away tomorrow on the UFC 229 stream when you pick the winner of Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor and get the closest on how the fight ends. We're going into the second round here. Lance Palmer and Andre Harrison, and Lance Palmer launches a left hand, overhand left. Harrison blocks most of that. Harrison looked a little more aggressive right now when Palmer throws that left hook again. He's got a, even though he's a southpaw, he throws, it's like a sneaky overhand left. He throws it off a weird angle where he catches guys where they don't expect him to be. That's a really rare thing for an overhand shot. And he lands the left hand there. So Harrison, a lot of feints, a lot of movement, not a lot of action here, unfortunately. A little over a minute into the second round. Oh, nice body kick there from Palmer. Nice left hook over the top there from Palmer. Palmer does seem to be the more active fighter. And Harrison goes in for the takedown, and Palmer ends up getting it. So that's a takedown for Palmer. Harrison trying to get to the fence here, trying to stand up. Andre Harrison never been defeated in 20 fights. This would be his first defeat. And Lance Palmer's got his back, and he's got hooks in. Andre Harrison trying to stand up, and he's standing up. He's got Lance Palmer on his back now with hooks in. This is not a good position at all, and great job of Lance Palmer to turn his back to the cage. So even if he's not able to get the submission, this takes a lot of energy away from Andre Harrison. 3 minutes left in this round almost, and he's trying to get the choke here. He's not under the neck yet, but Andre Harrison's not. He doesn't really seem sure how to defend this. First thing I would advise was not to let Palmer get his back up against the fence, because now he's got a place to balance. And if I were Harrison, I would have leaned into the fence. Like if Palmer wants to get that close to him, smash him against the fence. I don't think that's, it might be illegal now. I haven't seen anybody try it in so long, I'm honestly not sure. Some of these things, it's like, unfortunately, you don't know if they're legal or not until they're done, like the Showtime kick. Anthony Showtime Pettis ran off the fence and landed that kick, and you got the commentators there. I believe it was Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg, and they were both kind of like, oh, that's amazing. Was that, no, I'm sorry, that was not them in that one. That was right before he came over from, excuse me, that was their second fight. Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg were there, but that was in the league that they were in before that. I don't know why it slips my mind. I apologize, guys. I'm getting tired. But you all know the Showtime kick, and everybody was not sure if it was legal at the time. So, like I said, there's some things I think you're not sure, but Lance Palmer has now been sitting on Andre Harrison's back for well over a minute. I think close to 2 minutes now. Now, this also takes a lot of energy from Palmer to constrict those legs around Harrison standing up. So that's a point. Definitely a battle of cardio, but man, for Andre Harrison to stand there with the guy on his back and for that long, 30 seconds left in the round, Palmer still got hooks in. Harrison's just kind of looking at him. He's looking at the referee saying, now, hey, we're in a stalemate. I'm holding his arm. Can you break this? I doubt a referee has ever broken up guys where one was on another guy's back with hooks in. But Andre Harrison has completely nullified this position. he's just holding his arm there and chilling. He's like, dude, I don't really know what to do. I'm not going to move. If you're not going to break, I guess you're just going to do this till the end of the round. And there's the end of the round. And I would say that definitely goes to Lance Palmer. Just 1 second. Let me get up and I let my dog out. All right. Here we go, round 3. Yeah, WEC. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name of that. That tells you I'm not sleeping enough. So front kick to the body there for Harrison. Oh, nice right uppercut from Harrison, and Palmer goes for the takedown here. So Palmer definitely won the second round. If Harrison can get the third, that first round's anybody's game. Always wondered why they didn't take full 5 minutes. I won't be on my knees for an entire 5 minutes. Oh, I hear you, man. Yeah, WEC, and maybe it was Goldie and Rogan. Yep, I liked that combination. Maybe it was just, you know, that's nostalgic now. But Andre Harrison finds himself in the same position again, only on the ground this time. Lance Palmer's got his back, got hooks in. Andre Harrison turned, and here in his corner just told him, not that way, not that way. And he turns right in. Turns his back right into Palmer. But Harrison keeps going, and actually now he's in full mount. He's in full mount, and Palmer has hooks in. And Palmer going for an arm triangle here. And now let's not forget, Andre Harrison's 20-0. Now that tells you something. Depending on the competition that he's fought, like I've talked about, he doesn't know how to lose. He hasn't gotten caught in a submission and learned that mistake. He may be about to learn that lesson right now from Lance Palmer. Palmer really working on getting this arm triangle in here. And I think Harrison's out. We got kind of a bad camera angle. It'd be nice to have that ref cam view now. Yeah, and he's out. And Lance's father, Dwayne Palmer, screaming instructions from the outside. And Palmer with full mount and hooks in again here. I mean, he's doing everything, pretty much everything he can to give Andre Harrison his first loss. And Lance Palmer moves to side control. And you have to wonder how tired these guys are, especially Andre Harrison. I mean, they already fought once tonight. So this is basically like the 5th round of a fight. But he just had Palmer on his back for over 2 minutes in the last round, standing up. That's a lot of energy. And Palmer gets his back again. Even if he doesn't get the submission so far, Palmer looks to be winning this round easily. If he won the second round, which I can't imagine he didn't, Lance Palmer looks like he's on his way to the finals. Minute left in the fight. And Andre Harrison could be looking at his first ever loss as a professional. 50 seconds left in the fight. Andre Harrison has to figure something out. And Palmer's the one that's trying to finish the fight. He's got the back of Harrison again, trying to get hooks in again here. 30 seconds left. Oh, and he just wraps around him like a boa constrictor. Oh, and he's going to land some ground and pound. Big left hooks. And now he's up in full mount. And Lance Palmer absolutely dominating round. He's landed numerous body shots and then hammer fists up top. Great round for Lance Palmer. I would say he had to have won at least 2, if not 3 of the rounds. Goldie and Rogan. Oh, you see my email address, Mike? Yeah, I'll... Oh, did you send me an email? I didn't get an email from you now. All right. My dog wants back in already, and they're saying Lance Palmer's already booking a flight to New York City, but we got to leave it to these judges first. And they'll have the final decision in this one, fortunately or unfortunately. All right, here's the official decision. 30-27 and 2 for 29-28. Lance Palmer shaking his head yes. And Andre Harrison will move on to the $1 million fight on New Year's Eve. And his family and the crowd is absolutely ecstatic. Winner by unanimous decision. So, and he's guaranteed at least $200,000 being in the matchup. Of course, $1 million if he wins it. Congratulations, Lance Palmer. Andre Harrison just wasn't his night. He didn't have an answer for much of what Lance Palmer did. Now, these guys had fought before. Andre Harrison beat Lance Palmer the first time. Lance Palmer comes back, beats him handily this time. And he'll face the winner of Silar and Almeida next. I'll let my dog in now.
First round, you guys feeling each other out. It was a little low. Second round, once the wrestling came in part, you just completely shut him down.
That's what I said this whole week in the interviews, boss. It's all about being able to get that takedown and control the fight. That's MMA. That's the way it's done. So I'm in here fighting for $1 million. Yeah, everybody in here booing. What are you doing?
Yeah, those people don't understand that this is going actually for $1 million, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very smart, methodical fight that you fought. No injuries, I guess.
You win and you move on. That's what it's all about. That's what I've done my whole life. It's just another stepping stone into that championship.
Great performance. Godspeed. Lance, the party Palmer, ladies and gentlemen. Back to you guys.
All right, right, we have one fighter in the finals. 3 more to come. 2 heavyweights, 1 more featherweight. Let's see who will face Lance Palmer in the finals. Felipe Lens versus Jared Rosholt next. So Jared Rosholt, the 8th seed, could end up in the $1 million matchup with 1 more win. He's going to have to pull off another upset over Felipe Lens. And this all comes down to, like I said, New Year's Eve. Next week, next Saturday, will be the 2nd round of the playoffs. And then I think there's 2 more rounds. Let me bring it up here real quick so I don't. I'm going to bring it up so I get the exact stats on this. So yeah, here we go. Next Saturday from Long Beach, California, we'll have 2 more weight classes. That's going to start at 6 p.m. Pacific. Looks like, at least for the main card. And then a week after that, October 20th, will be the last round of the playoffs in Washington, D.C. And then everybody will get 2 months off, and they'll have the final on New Year's Eve from New York, Madison Square Garden. And that will be a long night of fighting New Year's Eve. Felipe Lens versus Jared Rosholt, heavyweight semifinal. This is to go for all the big money. Fightswithfriends@gmail.com. And that is my normal channel that I stream from, that I make MMA channels from. This is actually a variety channel where I review things from, but since Fights with Friends is suspended until November 19th, this is the channel I've been doing MMA streams from. So there's my email address. All right, Jared Rosholt, it seems like he just got done fighting, and he's going to get back in there again here in just a minute. All right, 265-pound dude. He just went the distance. I know it was only 2 rounds against Francimar Barroso. So how did we get here? Lance Palmer earlier beat Max Koga, number 2 seed, over number 7. Jared Rosholt, the number 7 seed. I said number 8 seed, number 7 seed, over number 2 seed, Kevin Tiller. Andre Harrison, number 3 seed, over the number 6 seed, Bezerra. Lenz beat his partner, his training partner, Alencar, number 3 seed, over a 6 seed earlier. Alex Almeida beat number 5 seed, beat Turkson, number 5 over number 4. Alex Nicholson, number 5, beat Jack May, number 4. And then Steven Styler, number 1 seed, beat number 8 seed Nazareno Malagani. And now Lance Palmer just beat Andre Harrison. Now we got Felipe Lenz versus Jared Rosholt. And this is the heavyweight semifinal. This is to go to the finals and face the winner of Alex Nicholson.
Very similar across the board, guys, and we'll see what happens and how it all plays out. Remember, this one is 3 rounds. Both fighters have already gone tonight, as we said it in Joe Martinez.
All right, here we go. Joe Martinez, the announcer now. Now they got the... got it. Forgot to put after fight. Email sent. All right. Jared Rosholt, MMA record 16-5, 4 knockouts, 3 submissions. All right, I'm going to send you instructions right now, Robert. So go ahead and send me back another email if this doesn't make sense or you have more questions. Felipe Lenz, 12-3, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions. All right, I'll finish that here in a minute. Here we go. Oh, big right hand for Rosholt right out of the gate. A knee to the body. He's pushing forward on Lenz. These are both huge guys. And Rosholt gets the takedown. Lenz back up. Felipe Lenz has got underhooks here. He's trying to fight off the powerful takedowns of Jared Rosholt. And Rosholt pushing, spins him around. Lenz back up again. But now Rosholt back behind him. Lenz on the ground, and Rosholt standing over him, landing knees to the back of the legs there. Now Rosholt trying to get the back, trying to take hooks possibly here. Lenz using the fence to stand up, and he gets up, and Rosholt drags him right back down. Couple of left hooks there land for Rosholt, and it looks like he thought about putting hooks in, and then I'm not sure how his jiu-jitsu game is. I'm not sure if he knew what to do there, or if he's got a lot of submissions. There's those knees to the body, and the legs from Rosholt. So much more powerful from standing when you have a guy that's kneeling over, and you land those knees to the legs and body, especially from a 265-pound guy. And Rosholt slams him down again. Lenz again standing back up. Nice knees to the thighs of Lenz from Rosholt. Rosholt just drags him back down again. And continues to drive all his weight into those knees. The backs of the thighs of Lenz. And Rosholt's corner just told him, he goes, more knees? We got plenty of knees where that one came from. I like that corner. Oh, and he hooks one of the legs there, Rosholt does, to try to turn Lenz around, like he's kind of trying to extend him. It looked like he could have just put hooks in there, though. I'm not sure why he did. Lenz stands back up. Rosholt dumps him back down. Picks his legs up and dumps him again. Lenz just stood back up again. And Rosholt's got one leg, tries to sweep the other leg out. And it looks like Rosholt, I'm not sure if he has the energy to, but it looks like he wants to just lift Lenz straight up from here. Oh, and looked like he kind of tried to. He might be getting a little tired, though. Rosholt, I mean, he's expended a lot of energy inside 3 rounds tonight. Oh, and Lenz puts in hooks, gets Rosholt down to the ground. He's kind of got hooks from the sides here. Lenz does know what he's doing with these submissions. And Rosholt really needs to watch out. Lenz has got, he's got a body triangle, a high body triangle on around the shoulders. Oh, good. Rosholt just powers out of it. And now he's in the full guard of Lenz. Oh, and Lenz reaches out, pulls onto the fence to pull himself around, and the referee right on it grabs his hand. A couple of nice hammer fists from the bottom there for Lenz, and he lands an elbow. I've noticed, they said no elbows in this, but I've noticed a few elbows landed in several different matches, and the referees haven't mentioned anything. Lenz hands in the fence again there. I can't imagine he's going to let him get away with that too many more times, though. He's already warned him twice. And he's just blatantly grabbing the fence and pulling himself around. He wasn't even trying to hide it. Oh, nice knees. Knees to the inside of the thighs here again for Rosholt. 10 seconds left in the first round. Hammer fist to the head from Jared Rosholt. And the clock's going to run out. And I think Jared Rosholt's got 1 round in the bank. What's up, Trevi McTrib? Khabib is in trouble. What up, dudes? That's going to be a hell of a fight, Trevi. Have you heard about... I know, Trevi, you're going to want to win these. Tomorrow's stream, UFC 229, Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov. I'm giving away these Conor McGregor gloves. I got these from the president of Grocery Outlet. Got these from Monster for a promotion. I don't know how many of these were made. Very few of them, though. It was a short promotion by Monster. My estimate is around 1,000, maybe even less. They were not for resale. You cannot buy these anywhere. They're not on eBay. If you Google Monster Conor McGregor MMA gloves not for resale, you can't even find them on Google. So I know they're rare. Whoever picks the winner of tomorrow's fight, the round, and then the method that they win by, either knockout, submission, or decision, and then we're going to go all the way to the time in the round just in case it's a tiebreaker. Oh, nice right hand and a left hook there from Lenz as Rosholt comes in, and Rosholt looks like he might be a little gassed. So I know you'd like to win those gloves, though, Trevi. And there's exchanging in the center of the cage now. Oh, Lenz drops Rosholt. Big right hook and a straight left. And he is swarming with massive ground and pound. Head bouncing off the ground for Rosholt. And Lenz wins it. Felipe Lenz knocks out Jared Rosholt in the second round to make it into the $1 million round. He will fight in the finals on New Year's Eve for $1 million. And I think Jared Rosholt just gassed himself out. And then he got caught. And you get caught when you're tired, you're in trouble. Wow, what a great win for Felipe Lenz, though. Weathered the storm in that first round. Definitely lost that first round, but Jared Rosholt, I think he lands a big left hook too there, right on the button. And then a big right hand on the chin. Oh, another left hand coming in, and then it's a hammer fist on the ground. And and then Lenz's head bounces off the canvas, and he continues with more hammer fist, and the referee has to jump in there. Says no more. Wow. Impressive victory, Felipe Lenz. McGregor, second round, 4th minute KO. We'll make it tomorrow in the stream, man, because then when you guys are in there on the stream, if you're the closest, I'll send you the gloves. So, not that I wouldn't just give it to you, Trevi, but I want to have everything there so everybody can see it. That way, it's transparent. Felipe Lenz landed a lot more shots by the final numbers. Jared Rosholt with 3 takedowns, but takedowns aren't everything. All right, and there it is. Felipe Lenz is in the finals. He will face the winner of Josh Copeland and Alex Nicholson. So he will be fighting, and all the heavyweights left are either Brazilians and Americans. Lenz, Brazilian, and then Nicholson and Copeland, both Americans. So it will be U.S. versus Brazil in the finals. Either way. Khabib, 3rd TKO, last 3 minutes. Or third TKO, last 2 minutes, excuse me. All right, guys, I will probably remember those, but like I said, just remember those for tomorrow in the stream. I've got to get everything in the stream because I don't want there to be any question that it was rigged. If somebody has something closer and then I say, oh, well, this guy said something closer in a different stream, it's hard to just show it to them there. So remember also to post those tomorrow in the stream. I know you guys will be there for that big stream. I think everybody will be. All the Rayers from the channel, I expect pretty much everybody to be there. So, but I'm happy to have another big fight coming up. I gotta admit to you guys, though, just a little bit, and I don't know if it's because I've been a little tired or what's going on, but I'm not feeling the electricity in the air. I mean, it feels like a big fight, but I don't feel the electricity in the air like I have for some other big fights, like for Chuck and Tito, or Chuck and Randy. I know that's going back a ways. But even, like, I don't feel as much, electricity in the air as I did for Tyrone Woodley and Darren Till, even. And maybe that's just me. Some of this promotion for this kind of seems a little forced. I'm huge fans of both guys, and I really want to see the fight. And honestly, it probably really is just me. But I feel like I should be a little more excited. Like, if they're talking about this being the biggest fight in UFC history. And, I mean, I don't have those goosebumps I had, like, before Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis. Or before Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou. And you're going to stream Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Yes, I'm going to do Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury for sure. That's because Khabib sucks. I'm hyped up. What's up, Cuck Norris? You should watch the weigh-in. I'm definitely going to have to watch the weigh-in. I think I'm going to get some sleep and watch it maybe early in the morning tomorrow. Steven Silar versus Alexander Almeida. The winner will face Lance Palmer in the finals for $1 million on New Year's Eve.
Thanks, Todd. Well, yes, this is a rematch of PFL 4 where it ended quite controversially. Steven Silar got the submission, but it was kind of called early because the ref thought that Almeida tapped when in fact he was just adjusting himself. But in order to
Now, it's a rematch of a weird match. As they were saying earlier, Steven Silar, the #1 seed, was going against Almeida back in PFL 4. The referee thought Almeida was tapping. Almeida was adjusting himself during a submission, so the referee actually called the fight prematurely. Well, Almeida's going to get his shot at revenge tonight and maybe a shot at $1 million. Or Almeida, can prove it now and say, hey, the last one, maybe the referee called it a bit early, but now I want to make this undeniable. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to watch the weigh-in. The first fight for Lins looked like was thrown by his opponent, PFL. What's up, DG? Even Randy and Boss were saying that it looked like he didn't get much resistance. And yeah, I wasn't real impressed with that fight. It was either Boss or Randy. I don't know who it was. It was saying that it looked like he probably could have just sat up, but instead he tapped to the guillotine. So I don't know what the deal is there. I mean, you got training partners fighting each other. I'm not sure why you would throw a fight at that point. I mean, I'm pretty hesitant to accuse someone of throwing a fight. But yeah, it didn't look like he gave a whole lot of, like he fought with everything he had to get out of that guillotine choke. So that was definitely very strange. Kind of gave, yeah, he did, DG. I 100% agree. He pretty much gave up with no resistance. It's like, oh, okay, guillotine choke, tap. So I don't know what the thinking was on that. Maybe he just wasn't really into fighting his training partner. Some of these guys don't like to fight their training partners, but I mean, if that's the case, don't enter into a tournament where you all have to fight each other. So you knew that was likely to happen. You knew if you both guys were both going to have a shot at the cash, that was going to happen. Steven Silar, 31 years old, 5'10", 69-inch reach. Almeida, 5'8", 146 pounds also. Reach is even at 69 inches. 5'10", that's a tall 145-pounder. For Silar, you can get a lot of leverage on some of those chokes. I'm kind of just wanting to watch the weigh-in now. I hear you guys continue to talk about it, and I'm seeing just flashing up people's videos of the weigh-in and clips of the videos. Sounds like, did Conor get aggressive? I heard Khabib got up in his face. I heard he didn't back down. Now, who's going to win that fight? God knows. I've gone back and forth. I've leaned towards Khabib for a lot of it. And then I think about everything Conor's done over his career when people have doubted him. And that fight's just a toss-up. Alexander Almeida, 20-8, 2 knockouts, 14 submissions. Now remember, like I said last time, this is a rematch of a fight that's already happened. Almeida was adjusting himself while in a submission. The referee mistakenly thought he was that he was tapping against Steven Silar, who's 31-17-1, 6 knockouts with 17 submissions of his own. Thought refs should have restarted the Lenz and Rosholt fight in the first. Looked like Lenz would pull or grasp the cage at about 8 times. Yeah, he was grabbing the cage a lot. I can't believe he didn't say something. Conor tried to kick him, but Khabib won't let Conor touch him before the fight. Really? Damn. All right, and they touch gloves. No elbows and no knees to a grounded opponent. Here we go. This is to face Lance Palmer for $1 million on New Year's Eve. Steven Silar and Alex Almeida. Nice low leg kick from Almeida. Oh, and a big right hand, counter right hand lands for Silar coming in. He may have hurt Almeida there. Oh, big flurry. Right hook and a left hook, and Almeida's got swelling on his right eye already, and he shoots for the takedown. Silar stands up. Silar's like, no. Almeida's sitting on his back, and Silar's like, no, get up. Let's strike. And then the referee calls him back up after Silar backs off. There's a lot of blood coming out of the left eye of Almeida. I'm not sure exactly what caused that. Oh, big right hands from Silar. Almeida lands a couple of big shots and gets a takedown, and now he's got Silar's back standing. He's just kind of flipping him around. He's got hooks in. Almeida's got hooks in. It looked like Silar might have had Almeida hurt. Almeida now turning the tables. Trying to stretch Silar out. Oh, and Silar just dumps him. And now Silar's on top, lands a hammer fist. And he's in the guard of Almeida. Nice back and forth transitions there. And this is where Almeida wants to be. Silar's got a lot of submissions himself, though. Both these guys are submission experts, so good job of Almeida to use the fence with his feet. You can't grab the fence with your hands. You definitely can grab it with your feet and kick yourself around to different positions, though. Now, Almeida did a great job. But Silar now using the cage, though, to push off against, to get more pressure, to push into Almeida in the guard there. I think he's trying to get higher up into the guard, maybe to set up a pass. And Silar's corners telling him, stop the ground and pound, get up on your feet. Oh, and they're back up and a right hand for Silar, and he pushes Almeida up against the fence. Almeida's eye is bleeding really bad. He really needs to get a cut, man, on that. And it's not in a good spot. It's above the eye. That might be the, yeah, I think he might actually have 2 cuts. Maybe one on the forehead and one on the side of the eye. Nice knee to the body from Almeida off the fence there. And they had it in the ref cam there. I actually like the ref cam. I wouldn't mind watching a whole fight from that. And they break him, and ref breaks him, and they're gonna put him in the center of the cage again. And this is good for Steven Silar. Oh, Almeida shoots a big left hook but misses. Nice low leg kick for Silar. Now Almeida's corner's telling him, shoot, shoot. Almeida lands a nice leg kick. He's got a lot of blood going into that eye. Nice body kick from Almeida. Doesn't seem to be interfering with the side at all whatsoever, though. At least for now. Couple leg kicks land for Silar. 30 seconds left in the first round. Almeida with a leg kick. Silar with another leg kick. Unless Almeida does something big, I got Silar winning this first round. And Almeida is calling Silar in. He says, come on. Nice left hook from Almeida. Oh, and Silar goes in for a flying knee. Almeida gets a takedown. I still think Silar won that round, but will one of these judges look at that and say, hey, Almeida got a takedown at the end of the round? I thought it was close until that and give it to him. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch the way in. Connor tried to kick him. Oh, it was a big right hook on the corner of the eye of Lynn's. I was thinking it might have been a head clash or a headbutt. It was definitely a right hook. Isn't a big flurry, big combination actually for Silar, and it was one of those right hooks in that combination that cut his eye open. And Almeida landed some great combinations and mixing his punching up with his takedowns well. I don't think he did enough to win that round, though. I gave it to Silar. Thank you for all the thumbs up, guys. Thank you for everybody that's subscribed to the new channel. This is where I'll be streaming UFC 229 from tomorrow. So make sure you're subscribed. I got to stay up at least long enough to set up my UFC stream for tomorrow. I'll tell you, I'm a little exhausted, but nice low leg kick there for Almeida. Oh, that was a hard low leg kick from Almeida. And Almeida just throwing that jab up there, feeling, oh, left hand and a big right hook from Almeida. Much faster start to the first round. Almeida was kind of starting to come on at the end of that first round. Oh, Silar caught Almeida coming in with a counter right hook there, though. Almeida threw a wide shot, and Silar moved to the side of it and clipped him. Nice up kick. Wait, we're going to have to look at the replay here. They're trying to say that there might have been an illegal move here. Okay, so Almeida threw an up kick from his back. Technically, Silar was on his knees. Technically, he was a grounded opponent, so you cannot throw an up kick to a person who's technically grounded. And there's no head kicks to a grounded opponent. And Silar is really messed up. The doctors are in here looking at it. I'm not sure what they're going to do about this. And generally, once the doctors come in, a lot of times they don't restart the fight. In a case like this from an accidental foul, they may give him some time. I mean, what do you do if he can't continue, though? Do you disqualify Almeida for one foul? Especially an up kick from your back. So Silar he was definitely really, he really got clocked by that up kick. In Almeida's defense, when you're on your back, it's kind of hard to tell if both your opponents' knees are. It looked like it. Oh, it was right on the chin. It was the ball of the foot to the chin of Steven Silar. And I don't think Steven Silar is going to continue. I'm not sure they're waiting, but if he's not able to continue, he has no incentive to, and they just called it off. Steven Silar will go into the finals for the $1 million match, but not how he wanted to. Almeida DQ'd for the up kick to a grounded opponent. Strange ending in that one. And I think I'm usually pretty good at judging an acting job. I don't think Steven Silar is acting here at all. Will you be able to put up... Connor tried to kick him, but people won't... Oh, will you be able to put up ads? For this channel, I'll be able to put up ads as soon as my monetization is approved. I have my 1,000 subscribers, but it takes 30 days to be approved, so there probably will not be any ads for tomorrow. Well, up to 30 days. Unless they approve my monetization between now and the time the fight starts tomorrow, which, I mean, they may. Things happen on YouTube every day. But as of now, no, I don't get any ad money. So, come on, you're tough. Get up. DQ if can't continue. Couture and Boss announced, yep. And that's the way it ended up, was disqualification. Weird ending to that one, but we got heavyweights coming up. Next is the match. Matchup to see who will go into the heavyweight finals. Yeah, Alexander Almeida, I mean, man, obviously he didn't do that on purpose. You got to feel really bad for that guy because, you know, one, he lost the fight before when he didn't actually tap. He was given a loss. He was just adjusted himself the first time they fought. Now you have this. I mean, he's on his back. He's throwing an up kick. He probably couldn't even see if Silar was standing or on a knee, honestly. So that's a tough one. Honestly, I've always thought up kicks should be legal, period. And Silar's shaking his head. You can tell visibly he's not happy going into the finals this way. And Lance Palmer and Steven Silar is the finals. The number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed. So it plays out. It plays out the way it was seeded. Number 1 versus number 2. Steven Silar was the number 1 seed, and he ended up going on. And in the top 4, you had the number 1, 2, 3, and 5 seeds. So those seeds stayed pretty true. It was a pretty accurate prediction for how this tournament would go.
Somebody who does not fake anything, it's you, and I know this is real, and I hope these people stop doing. Hey.
And Boss Rutan yelling at the crowd and telling the people to stop booing. Whoa, and Steven Silar, you can tell he's still rocked. Yeah, you can tell he really doesn't want to fight. He really doesn't want to talk. He's really not comfortable with this right now. Now, this is not Silar's fault at all. I mean, Almeida broke the rules. Whether you agree with the rules or not, it was an illegal kick to a grounded opponent. That's the rule. It was a hard kick, and Boss Rutan just said we got to go to the next fight because we're running out of broadcast time. And yeah, this crowd definitely upset. Hopefully this heavyweight main event will make it up to him. And Steven Silar might go in with some extra motivation with the chip on his back against Lance Palmer. Man, those are some tough guys going in. And these are some tough guys coming up. Alex Nicholson versus Josh Copeland, heavyweight semifinal. Number 8 seed Josh Copeland, just one fight away now from fighting for $1 million. He's going to have to get through the Spartan, Alex Nicholson. Yeah, he really hurt him too. Yeah, he got him. He got him good. And that's the thing. I definitely have mixed feelings about the up kick from your back. I mean, yes, technically it's a kick to a downed opponent, but you're a downed opponent too. And you're on your back. So, I don't know. It's a hard one. I mean, if Steven Silar's not able to continue, what do you do? Should that be a legitimate knockout? I don't know. I mean, the rules, they followed the rules as they are. I have a little mixed feelings about that rule, though. But, yeah, you definitely were able to tell the power of a full up kick with the heel of the foot, though. And at first, I know it shouldn't be. My first reaction when Steven Silar was getting up, you know, I was like, oh, please don't let this be another Montel Griffin moment. Please don't let this be Montel Griffin versus Roy Jones Jr. all over again. And then I realized, no, this guy's legitimately hurt. And this guy, it looked like he wanted to continue, and the doctors were talking to him. And they're just like, no, you're not in any condition to continue fighting. And I think he wanted to continue fighting. It seemed like they wanted to get the mic away from his face at that moment, though. Alex Nicholson versus Josh Copeland right now, heavyweight semifinal. 3 5-minute rounds. Josh the Cuddly Bear Copeland. What a nickname. I like it. Got a jet, Mike. Best to you and rest of Fights friends. Thanks for coming in, DG. Have a great night, man. All right. Heavyweight finale. And this is how it happened. Josh Copeland beats number 1 seed Francimar Barroso. Number 1 Steven Silar will now face number 2 Lance Palmer. Of course, update in the featherweight finale on New Year's Eve for $1 million. Felipe Lins is in the finals. He will face the winner of this match between Alex Nicholson and Josh Copeland for $1 million on New Year's Eve. Then after this week, it'll be next Saturday, the second round of the PFL tournament. Then the Saturday after that, October 20th, will be the final round of the playoffs, and then there'll be a break from PFL until New Year's Eve for the finals.
Okay, let's see. Back to Utah. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Both fighters now inside the cage.
Alex Nicholson, I mean, he looks like he rested well, at least for now. Alex Nicholson, 221. Josh Copeland, 264. Now, we seen Jared Rosholt, a 265-pound guy around the same size as Josh Copeland, gas out in the second round of his second match. Will Copeland have better cardio than Rosholt? Or will it matter? Will he finish it earlier? "17 wins, 5 losses, 5 knockouts, and 5 submissions for Josh Copeland." The Cuddly Bear, Josh Copeland. I love that nickname. That is hilarious. Yeah, got beat by a guy named the Cuddly Bear. All right, Alex Nicholson, 13-6, 12 knockouts, 1 submission. Never met a decision he liked. Or you'd say he's finished all 13 of his opponents. All 13 of his wins, all 13 finishes. 10-point must system based on aggression and total damage. No knees to the head of a grand opponent, and they touch gloves. And here we go. Oh, big right hand to start this off after Copeland. And Nicholson goes with a big body kick. These guys, no feeling out process. Josh Copeland is moving forward like a bulldozer, and Nicholson's ready to come in with big counter punches. Oh, big 1-2 from Copeland, a right hand. And Nicholson lands another big body kick. Goes for a spinning wheel kick that misses. Another big right hand from Copeland. These guys are coming in to throw bombs. Oh, big left hook from Copeland. He's landing power shots right out of the gate. He's looking for a first-round knockout. Oh, big right hook over the top from Copeland, and a nice front kick to the body from Nicholson. Nice 1-2 from Copeland, and he's pushing Nicholson up against the fence, all 265 pounds. And he's beating him up against the fence now, too. Wouldn't that be a huge upset? The number 8 seed wins the whole tournament. Oh, nice knees to the body there from Nicholson, and right uppercuts from Copeland, and Copeland says, "Come on!" Oh, spinning back fist lands for Nicholson. A big left hook. Oh, that opened up a huge cut on Copeland's eye. On his left eye. Oh, big right hand from Copeland, and Alex Nicholson is unconscious. Josh Copeland, the 8th seed in this tournament, has knocked out Alex Nicholson in the first round to get to the $1 million match. And his father is screaming on the outside of the cage. What a moment for Josh Copeland, and everyone in this arena is on their feet. That was absolutely amazing. Seconds after Alex Nicholson landed a spinning back fist on Josh Copeland, Copeland lands a shot and puts the lights out. Let's see a replay on that. Wow, he's got an incredible gash in his eye, but it didn't matter. You could tell he came out in that first round going for blood. He was going for the finish the first round. And here we go. And Nicholson goes for a flying knee, and he's throwing shots, leaves himself open. Huge right hook right on the chin, and Alex Nicholson is literally just drops unconscious. Let's see it again. Boom! And that's the worst shots are the ones that you move into. And he was moving into it with his weight. Copeland came forward and just stepped into it and put all of his weight into it. And that was it. Boom! Yeah, that's as big a shot as you'll ever see in MMA, Quincy. I could watch that replay several times. Alex Nicholson missing that flying knee, throwing a flurry, lands a left hand in there, has his hands way down, throws a lazy jab. And that's what happened. He threw a lazy jab, and Copeland just lands a huge right hook right over the top. Number 8 seed in the championship. Josh Copeland will be fighting for $1 million against Felipe Lenz on New Year's Eve. That's a real good story. Yeah, that one, that made the night worth it right there. I really like that guy. Wow, what a gash. Anybody who's watching it, can you see? That looks like, literally looks like a knife gash above his eye. And then Josh Copeland. Man, and Nicholson, he touches gloves afterwards, but man, they had to wake him up first. They literally had to wake him up. He was out cold. Even in a heavyweight, there are very few men that have one punch knock you unconscious power. That is one dangerous cuddly bear. Damn.
What a performance by the Cuddly Bear. Arm strikes landed 8, and they were
All right, and I'm going to end it on that, guys. Josh Copeland, the number 8 seed, knocking out Alex Nicholson in the first round to go to the finals against Felipe Lenz. Featherweight championships are also lined up now. We'll have Lance Palmer against Steven Silar. Both of those for $1 million on New Year's Eve. Thank you for joining me for PFL 8, the first round of the playoffs. I will see you tomorrow for UFC 229, Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. I hope all of you are there. As always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses tomorrow.